Welcome, everybody, to the Shut Your Mouth Lounge, episode number 98. I'm Alex. I got with me
Okami.
Hattie and Pink.
Yeah, there.
And presumably not soon, though who knows if he'll join mid-session. He's a wild one that soon. We've got a fairly short list of topics today, and I don't think we're going to get much discussion out of them other than a bit of Riddler talk, because, hey, Hattie, Riddler in the movies!
I saw.
Yeah.
I looked the guy up because I don't know freaking actors. And I mean, he looks the part.
Yeah, he's a
More or
really
less.
good casting. I've only seen him in one movie, but he's good casting, I think.
I have no idea who he is.
I assume neither of you have seen There Will Be Blood with Daniel Day-Lewis?
Nope.
Absolutely not.
Okay. So, he very much in There Will Be Blood, he plays very much a self-important, arrogant, shitheel who thinks he's smarter than everybody else. And thinks that he's in charge.
So Riddler.
Yeah,
Okay.
so Riddler. He's pretty much already played the role. But Riddler, I guess, will have to be a bit more playful. But he's got the physicality, which is to say that he doesn't have physicality.
Yeah.
Right.
And Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, which I'd also say Catwoman doesn't seem like a terribly complex role to play.
Not at all.
I've only seen Zoe Kravitz in one role, and I believe it's probably the same role that Pink's seen her in. Because, Pink, you did watch Fury Road, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, she didn't play a terribly complicated character there, either. You do remember that she was in Fury Road, right?
I don't know who she was in Fury Road.
She was one of the girls. She was the...
Well, that narrows it down.
Well, hang on. There were 4 white ones and 1 black one, so take a wild guess at which one she was.
I remember none of them.
She was the one... Her name was, if I remember correctly, her name was Toast.
Toast. That
Yeah.
sounds familiar.
And remember there was the one with the platinum white hair who was pregnant?
Yeah.
And she was like the most naive of the 5. And Zoe
Yeah.
Kravitz was the short-haired one that was very protective of her. And I think she's the only one out of the girls that picks up a gun when the fighting starts. Except for maybe the redhead. Did the redhead pick up a gun? Because I know the redhead was the one that had the little kind of relationship with Nux. And wait, were there only 4 of them? Because I remember Jason Statham's wife, who was the pregnant one that got crushed by the truck. I remember Zoe Kravitz, I remember the platinum-haired one, and I remember the redhead. But I could have swore there were 5, but I can only think of 4. Yeah, anyways. Zoe Kravitz is playing Catwoman, and, she's pretty. That's pretty much all you really need to play Catwoman in most of the movies. They don't make her a very complex character.
Has she ever been a complex character?
And the comics, sure.
I don't believe you.
I think she can walk a very interesting line with morality, because she's fundamentally a good person, but she's also very greedy. And generally doesn't believe herself to be capable of good, you know?
Right.
Which, unfortunately, leads to dumb comic book stuff like her walking out in the wedding, but, yeah. I mean, I understand why they had her walk out on the wedding, because that kind of pretty much ruins, like, half of why Selena Kyle even exists as a character, but... that's a dumbass comic book note.
Right.
But I do want to go ahead and say, boy, it's going to be awkward for her if they ever have her do anything with Aquaman. Because Jason Momoa is her stepfather.
Oh.
Oh.
And I think her mom was one of the daughters from The Cosby Show, wasn't she?
I wouldn't know.
But anyways, yeah, Zoe Kravitz is Catwoman, Paul Dano is Riddler, which I didn't even know Riddler was going to be in this movie. I thought it was just Penguin and Catwoman.
Right. It was the first I had heard of it as well. But given that they're going for Detective Batman, Riddler makes much more sense than literally anybody else you could throw in the movie.
Hush.
Yeah,
Hush.
Too early for Hush.
Zaz.
Zaz,
Zaz is
I
kind of
would actually
generic,
like to
but
see that one, but I still think Riddler would be the best option here.
Riddler's a solid one. I think Penguin makes sense because Penguin's more of a straight criminal. He's not the crazy gimmick guy like anyone else.
Right.
When done right, when Tim Burton isn't directing.
I
When Tim Burton is directing, Penguin is just another gimmick guy. Oh, man. I'm happy with this selection of villains. Can I just go ahead and say that?
Yeah.
Because none of these seem like edgelords. Maybe Catwoman a little bit, but if they're going with Paul Dano for Riddler, they're not going to make Riddler a serial killer. They're going with classic Riddler.
Right.
Otherwise, they would have went with a shitlord or Johnny Depp. God, you guys remember when everybody was saying, "Oh, Johnny Depp's going to be the villain of Dark Knight Returns. He's going to be Riddler." Or Dark Knight Rises.
Those were dark times.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we wound up with Tom Hardy as Bane, which was even worse. Fuck, I'd have much rather taken Johnny Depp as Riddler. Tom Hardy wasn't really even Bane. God, what we really just need is a Batman movie that actually gives a shit about the comics.
We can cross our fingers.
Yeah. And I say this fully aware that I'm in the presence of Addie, who doesn't care about comics, and Pink, who doesn't care about Batman, so... I really just need to hope, like, with DC, that they're giving the directors a lot more freedom. Because Shazam turned out well, because that was all kinds of goofy and hokey that Shazam needs to be. And Wonder Woman turned out well, because they didn't have to make Diana a huge edgelord. So clearly Snyder wasn't looking in on that one. So hopefully Matt Reeves intends here to make a kind of classic Batman detective story.
Right.
And you know what I really, really hope for? With them having
What do you
Penguin
really
and
hope
Riddler
for?
in the same movie, I hope we get the Penguin-Riddler friendship from the comics.
I would imagine having two villains in there, they would have to kind of do that in the first place anyway. But I don't know. I haven't seen very many Batman movies, so they probably have screwed that up royally before in the past. And I would not know.
They tried to do Penguin and Catwoman working together in Batman Returns, and it didn't really work. Because Danny DeVito does his whole Danny DeVito thing of, "Hey, baby, you want to fuck with a bird?" And she's like, "No." And, like, he's covered in slime, too. And he's eating a live fish. And he's Tim Burton Penguin, so he's only got 2 fingers on his hand. 2 big fingers. God. Addie, did you ever watch Batman Returns?
Nope.
That's Danny DeVito at Danny DeVitoing ist. And Christopher Walken's there, too. It's so incredible because you're watching Christopher Walken and Danny DeVito trying to outdo each other for most of the movie. And then Michelle Pfeiffer is there, and she's also yucking it up as Catwoman.
Isn't Jim Carrey also there, or is that a different movie?
No, that was the sequel. That was the following one, and he was Riddler, and he was yucking it up. And then they brought in Tommy Lee Jones, who ordinarily isn't a very yucking it up actor. They brought him in as Two-Face, and he started yucking it up.
There was also Arnie.
Yeah. Oh no, that was the sequel to that sequel.
Oh.
And he was yucking it up, and there's Uma Thurman, and she was yucking it up as Poison Ivy. The only one who wasn't yucking it up was Bane, because he couldn't fucking talk. And Bane's one I'm fine with him yucking it up, because he's pro wrestler inspired. And besides, there's something funny about Bane being a big showman. What didn't in the original Nightfall storyline, when Batman, after Bane broke Batman's back, didn't he make a big show of it in the middle of Gotham?
Yeah.
Like, he was parading around Batman's broken body, and he was like, "Hey, look, I fucking broke the shit out of Batman, see?" And
Yeah, head honcho now. You gotta show off.
Yeah. God, I love Bane's motivation in Nightfall, that he's just going into the real world with prison logic. Literally, if I cripple the guy who's the baddest in the world, that makes me the baddest in the world.
Bane breaks Batman's back, starts cutting an Ultimate Warrior promo.
Oh, that or he starts cutting an Iron Sheik promo. I broke the Batman's back and I made him humble. I fucked him in the ass. I made him humble. Oh God. Oh, that's fantastic. If Matt Reeves goes for a more comic accurate Batman, can we finally get comic accurate Bane? That is the ultimate question.
No.
It will never happen. I would be too happy.
I was about to say, is that the only thing that could get Pink to go watch a Batman movie in theaters?
Yep.
Comic accurate Bane?
Yep.
They're contractually obliged to not make a freaking comic accurate Bane.
At this point, I'm obliged to think so. I mean, they did have Bane be a prison experiment in the one with Arnie as Mr. Freeze. But there, he was just some white serial killer dude in the middle of Gotham. God, did you guys watch any of the classic 4 Batman movies, the Burton and Schumacher films?
Nope.
I might have seen the first one with Joker.
I grew up on all those films, all 4 of them. Oh, that is weird.
You have to remember that I didn't even watch Batman films all that much.
No.
So,
You saw Dark
superhero
Knight
movies.
at some point, right?
I saw at least half of Dark Knight.
Okay.
I've seen the entire Dark Knight trilogy with the exception of the third one. So I've not actually seen the entire trilogy.
The only
I
thing
just
I
don't know
remember.
the names of the first 2, so I couldn't be like, hey, I saw this one, not the last one.
You should have skipped the first one.
The only thing
that trilogy shouldn't be a trilogy. It should just be one movie.
The only thing I really remember from those movies, because I think I might have watched parts of all of them, is freaking, Heath Ledger and then Ra's al Ghul, and that's it.
Liam Neeson playing Ra's al Ghul, but not really.
Yeah.
Hello, I am Liam Neeson. I am a Middle Eastern ninja, as you can clearly see. And the fact that he's wielding a katana, too, which...
Don't mock him. He has enemy angle on his side.
Literally, he actually does. You're not wrong. That's the problem. That is pretty much Ra's al Ghul and Batman Begins summarized. What a dumb fucking movie. The only good part was Scarecrow. And even then, it was the strength of Cillian Murphy's performance and not really anything else.
Right.
God. There's been 2 good Batman movies so far. We're at like 9 Batman movies now, live action. 2 of them are good. Pretty hot batting record, if I do say so myself. I'll say I love Batman Forever, but it's a garbage movie. I just like to see Tommy Lee Jones yucking it up. There's something endlessly amusing to me about Tommy Lee Jones trying to out-ham Jim Carrey. Never in your life would you think you would see such a thing, and yet it was.
A part of me wants to go back and watch those old Batman movies just for Jim Carrey.
Oh, yeah.
From before he was this.
He was Jim Carreying it up in Batman Forever. That was Jim Carrey at his maximum Jim Carrey. He's not Riddler in that movie, I should point out. He's just Jim Carrey. Which means he's Joker, but he asks questions. Oh, God.
I'm just imagining Jim Carrey in a leather costume going up to whoever was playing Batman and going, "May I ask you a question?" Like pointing his ass directly at their face.
That pretty much
You know the
summarizes
scene.
the movie.
At least I know what to look forward to, I guess.
There is, honest to God, a part where he is blowing up the Batcave, and meanwhile he is doing fucking air. He is dry humping the air while blowing up the Batcave.
Yep, Jim Carrey.
Yep. Oh, God. Hey, here's something Pink won't bother talking about.
Okami 2.
So Capcom's been saying, hey, we're interested in bringing back long dead IPs. And I saw that news headline and I was like, Darkstalkers! But Akumi Nakamura and Hideki Kamiya instead were like, Okami! And Kamiya did officially confirm they are not working on it. They are just trying to get it going.
Ah,
But
well, that sucks. They haven't been able to get it to work yet, but who knows?
It's difficult to say because Okami is a game with some legacy behind it. It didn't sell well though, did it?
I don't think so, no.
I think it falls under the category of cult classic.
Yeah. But Akumi Nakamura got a bizarre amount of fame after the Bethesda conference, which was just kind of creepy, honestly. And Hideki Kamiya is still Hideki Kamiya.
What happened at the Bethesda conference?
The Bethesda conference at E3, do you not remember that?
I didn't watch it.
You don't remember everybody losing their minds?
No?
Because Kumi Nakamura came out and showed off some new game she's working on, some horror game she's working on for Bethesda. And she was very energetic, and she was very happy, and she was bopping and jumping all over the place and showing off the game and all kinds of stuff. And people didn't give a shit about the game, but everybody was like, oh my god, I love her.
Oh.
And they were drawing lots of fan art of her. I don't know how much of it was sexual, though I assume a lot of it.
It's the internet.
It is the internet. And particularly the kinds of people who would care enough to watch E3. And the people that would watch the Bethesda conference. Ugh. But she did wind up getting a bizarre following that she has then somehow kind of transferred into visiting a lot of other development studios, particularly visiting Platinum and being like, hey, me and Hideki Kamiya, we made the first Okami, and now we want to make another. And she also... What was the other one? She visited, what's the studio that made God of War? The new God of War? Was that just Sony San Diego?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, her and Cory Barlog did... Cory Barlog, the director of God of Wars 3 and 4, did a fucking... Addy, this is gonna make you happy. They did a video of them Naruto running all over the office together.
Why?
I don't fucking know.
Japan.
Yeah, sure. The most Japanese man, Cory Barlog. With a name like that, we all knew.
I mean, hey. In Japan, he's called Cory Mike Tyson, so... Or Mike Bison, rather.
Okay, wait. Hang on. I got a question for Addy. Addy, if there is any dead and buried Capcom IP that you want to see brought back, and Sengoku Basara doesn't count because it's not dead and buried, it's just not alive here.
I mean, I'm not sure about how healthy it is in Japan, but yeah.
Which one would you go with? Which dead and buried IP would you bring back?
I really went Silent Hill, but that's Konami.
Ah, yes, Capcom's famous competitor to Capcom's Resident Evil, Silent Hill.
Yeah.
That's what Ukes is basically planning, so...
I forget what the hell the freaking Give me a sec. I'm gonna look it up. No, I remember the game. I don't remember who made it.
Pink, I assume you've not got any long dead Capcom IPs you're sitting on?
I don't even know what Capcom made when they were alive.
Well, Capcom's alive. It's just the games. There's a lot of franchises that are dead.
Is Capcom really alive though?
Yeah, they've been knocking it out of the park since Resident Evil 7, Pink. They made Resident Evil 7. They made Monster Hunter World, which sold millions.
Oh, yeah. Everybody loves that game.
They made Devil May Cry 5, which also sold millions of units. They made... what was the other... Well, they made the Resident Evil 2 HD remake, which also sold millions of units.
Well, okay, I was going to say Fatal Frame, but that's Koei, apparently. So, Marvel vs. Capcom.
Marvel vs. Capcom. You know what? Sure. It's a bit on the nose, but yeah.
It's pretty dead.
I like them saying, we're going to bring back a long-dead franchise, Marvel vs. Capcom. And everybody's like, but Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite came out 3 years ago, Capcom. And Capcom's like, what is that? I'm sorry, stop talking about made-up games, audience. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Why would we slap our name on such a stupid idea? Clearly, Marvel vs. Capcom 4 is the future. Man, I would love the balls. If they had the balls to just make it Marvel vs. Capcom 4, I would laugh my ass off.
Right.
Like, oh man. I mentioned to Hattie recently that they are bringing back Postal. Not Capcom. Capcom's not making Postal. That'd be entirely different. They're bringing back those Postal games, right? Did either of you guys ever see footage of Postal 2?
I did
Only
not.
Postal 1.
It's the famous first-person shooter game where you don't actually...
Or wait, was it Postal 2? The one where you go to the developers like thing because they're protesting and you can also piss on people.
Yes. It is a
Okay,
it is a first-person
yeah.
shooter about doing your shithead character's daily errands. And despite being a first-person shooter, you can choose to go through the entire game pacifistically without killing anyone, or alternatively kill everyone. And it's just this guy doing his daily errands in what is basically South Parkville. And also you can unzip your pants and piss on people.
10 out of 10.
And to heal, you smoke crack.
11 out of 10.
Or eat dog biscuits.
What?
Alabama out of 10.
You smoke crack, you eat dog biscuits, you piss down the highway as you're moving, killing everyone that you see. That's Postal 2 summarized. But there was a Postal 3 that was made in like somewhere in Eastern Europe a couple years back. Was absolute dog shit. And now they've announced a Postal 4 that is pretty much entirely going to consist of the original developers saying, man, didn't Postal 3 suck? And I really wish they either would have just titled it Postal 3 for real this time, or Postal 4, now it doesn't suck. Postal 4, we promise this one doesn't suck. Oh, man. We need more balls in the video game industry.
No doubt. That's a gold mine there.
I mean, just call up Rockstar. They are really keen on modeling balls.
Don't call up Rockstar for anything, please. Except maybe Bully 2. Ugh.
Call up Rockstar, and they suck.
Firaxis is the only team at 2K right now I'm happy with.
I don't
think you're very happy with them right now. That would be understandable, but
yeah, for one that, and for two, like, I don't acknowledge the teams that I am happy with as part of 2K. So
all right, Addy, what's going up on the channel this week?
let me pull it up.
Pink, what's going up on your channel this week?
Civ 6. I don't think I have anything else other than that.
All right, what's going up on my channel is an episode of Prison Architect on Tuesday, where things go very poorly, things go to shit, everything, it's all on fire, I die permanently, it's gone forever, end of playthrough. No,
R.I.P.
Rip.
Start selling freaking tea.
Yeah,
that's the only way.
No, logs. Tea and logs together.
Yeah, both.
It's not actually the end of the series. I am able to pull it back, but things go pretty poorly for a little bit. And there is a particular incident where things go very poorly, and I look like a massive fool for letting it happen. Thursday, Civ 6 is coming out. I don't know if I think it's part 2 of my Wilhelmina playthrough. And I have got, by the way, I've got a new structure for like how I handle Let's Plays, which is just I look at the camera. I don't look at the camera. There's no fucking camera. What am I talking about?
I look deep into the camera and stare right into your soul.
I'm hoping somebody will watch the video just to masturbate, really. That counts for views, right? Do I get an extra view count for every jerk?
Upload a video titled Just Chatting and then freaking make yourself fake boobs.
No, don't bother making boobs, but have cleavage anyways.
Yeah.
Just chest hair cleavage. Like I'm from the 70s. What I do is I look at the clock and I just play for an hour, and then I stop there, and then I hit the recording button again. So I don't even have to edit that shit. I just fucking cut in, like just cut off the first couple seconds of a video, and then I just fucking cut off a couple seconds off the end, and boom, golden. I don't have to edit. Exporting and uploading are still hell, though.
Technically.
I kind of do the same thing with my Civilization playthrough, except I go even shorter than that. It's like maybe 20 minutes, then I'll stop recording, then I'll start recording again.
Oh, I think that would interrupt the flow too much.
It's like,
I mean, it is
I
more
don't
attractive.
think-
It is more attractive to potential viewers, definitely.
And here I am, not a lazy shit.
Well, you're a lazy shit during recordings. You're just not a lazy shit during editing.
Yeah.
We got opposite styles. I'll be like, all right, I can absolutely interrupt the recording to press this button. But there have certainly been times where I've been like, all right, let's just stop the recording here and then start it again in a second. And now he's like, nah, let's keep it rolling. Though admittedly, sometimes funny stuff does happen in between.
right.
All right. What was it?
So yeah, what's coming up on the channel? So on Monday, the second episode of Tekken Tech Tournament 2 is coming out.
Ooh, all right. I forgot the
And
first
then-
episode was out.
And then on Friday, it's Killer Instincts 1 and 2.
Oh, yes. We still need to record that and get it off our Xboxes.
Yes, the third one.
Pink, do you still have it?
No, I don't think so. I think
Oh,
that's still on my queue to need to be downloaded, but I haven't gotten around to it yet.
My God, you must have a long queue.
Have you seen how much crap is in that thing? I've got like 48 characters to download, the game itself, all those other alternate outfits. It's stupid.
Each character takes like a second. It's not actually downloading the character, it's just downloading the fact that you own it. It's a DLC.
So why does the game take forever to download?
I don't fucking know. It's probably the game itself. It probably only takes a second to be like, alright, download one line of fucking coding to say that Pink owns the Reptar. Does Pink own Reptar equals yes. Alright, done. Oh, God. I don't think we're ever going to get Killer Instinct 2013 off our hard drives.
I'll just freaking delete it.
Yeah, I was about to say, Addie's like sitting and waiting with the trigger. Fucking die. Oh, God. I want to go back and watch the Tekken recordings. I need to watch part 1 and I need to watch part 2 when it goes up. Cause you can never see the mistakes you're making in a fighting game when you're actually playing. But like when I go back and watch our fighting game videos, I'm like, God, what am I doing? Stop. You idiot. Stop. Does anyone else notice that?
That's how it's supposed to be, but I don't freaking do that.
Oh, you narcissistic
Usually.
fuck.
Whenever I watch the fighting game videos back, I just wonder why I didn't win the first time.
Oh, man. Alright. Addie, you got anything going up on your own channel?
Yeah.
Alright.
So I've been working on and recording on Assassin's Creed Odyssey playthrough, so I can actually have a freaking fresh set of eyes over what I dislike specifically, because I've been writing that review for 3 months. And at this point, it would be nice to actually make it.
Yeah, you go ahead and take that on, Chief. I will avoid covering any free roam games on my channel ever. Fuck that. Like, no. How goes it, though? What's coming out this week? Just the first couple episodes?
Yeah, the first episode.
Alright, how did it go?
Well, I am acting like I am an immortal demigod, which I will turn into.
Well,
So,
Have
Why-
you killed anyone yet?
yes.
Okay, good.
None of the innocent NPCs, but I have killed all of the people trying to attack me. So
I mean, realistically,
trying to
every
attack
game
you?
you could say that you killed somebody
Oh,
in the first
wait.
episode.
wait, technically I did kill an innocent person.
Oh!
I'm not sure if it's in the if it's in the first or the second episode, but there's the boat tutorial, and the boat tutorial is on at the market, and I'm like, I wonder if I can turn around and shoot this random civilian that's working something, and I turn around and shoot him in between the eyes, and I'm like, oh, that actually happened.
Well, you sure assassinated the shit out of him.
Yeah.
So, how much did you get paid on that contract, Alexios?
I'm actually Cassandra in this playthrough, which is very hard for me because she looks evil, and thus every time I look at her, I'm like Demos. So it's probably why I'm also evil during the playthrough.
Demon.
'Cause, like,
She's just
yeah.
a demon? Is that what you're saying?
No, the evil sibling in the story is called Demos,
Okay, that makes sense.
and since she was Demos for me first, she kind of stuck that way, I guess.
I heard Alexios' voice delivery is a little wooden when he's the evil one.
I don't know.
Yes, you'll
As the
see.
protagonist, yeah, we'll see. As the protagonist, I feel like he was a bit better than Cassandra's. Like she just feels, it just feels. Then again, like it just feels off for both of them sometimes. So
I mean, my understanding is part of the problem with Odyssey is like, you're supposed to be the big hero, right? But isn't there pretty much any time a person you can sleep with a person, Alexios or Cassandra will be like, "Hey, I know your dad just died, but what if we were like to get it on?"
yeah, you can be that way.
Yeah.
It was Grease.
I remember watching a cutscene from Odyssey where, what was it? The prophecy of like someone's dad and their mom. Like their dad will howl in the night and their blood will shed. And Alexios
Yes,
gets there.
Oedipus.
Yeah, Alexios gets there and says, well, yeah, your mom's blood was shed. I did in fact kill your mother. And your dad did in fact scream. Me and him got naked and we had a very good time. And their poor fucking son is like, oh, what the fuck? I don't know what's worse. Oh, Jesus.
But yeah, so far the thing is like, the story is whatever. I hate Marcos. Marcos will never be good. Marcos deserves that he's only in 1/10 of the game. In fact, this is a lot more than he deserves.
I don't know who Marcos is, but apparently fuck him.
Marcos is this guy who raised Alexio / Cassandra when they got stranded on Kefalonia, but also he's this freaking asshole who uses them. So, you know,
I guess that's why you said fuck him.
yeah. He's like, yeah, I got that money I owe you. It's the guy three villages over who borrowed it from me that I obviously gave to me. Also, I owe money to the mafia, to the ancient Greek mafia, because why not? Also, it's your problem now. And that's the opening island in the game.
I love how every free roam game, friends and family are the worst thing you can have, because pretty much at every fucking mission, it's like, hey, Alexios, I know you're a boring video game main character, so you're not allowed to do things yourself. So I went ahead and got myself into trouble, so you have an excuse to have a mission here. Like every fucking Michael mission in Grand Theft Auto 5, right?
Right.
Or, well, not Michael Franklin. Michael had no trouble getting himself into trouble. Oh, I hate Michael. Anyways, yep. So you got Assassin's Creed Odyssey going up on the channel.
Yeah.
All right, Pink, what you been up to this past week? I'm gonna take a guess at what one of the things were. Yeah, I'm gonna bet Civ 6.
Yes. Did play a lot of Civ 6, played a lot of Rainbow. I finally finished Season 2 of The Good Place.
Oh, alright. So, okay. So that's that moment at the end of Season 2 when it looks like it's turning, right? The new twist, right?
Right.
That totally seems like one they'd cop out on, doesn't it?
I don't know, because it's kind of setting up a new season, and they've not ever really tried to retread anything as of yet.
But I mean, it seems like the kind of thing that goes against the entire concept of the show. So I figured they were going to immediately undo it. And they don't. Pretty much the entire front half of Season 3 revolves around that. That concept. And playing around with that.
All right.
And then, of course, Season 3's ending leads into Season 4, which I'm very interested in, but unfortunately it's still on television.
It's our new television.
Yeah. I need to check if it's going on Hulu sometime soon. But if it goes on Hulu, then that means I need to put up with ads. Ugh.
Right.
Alright. But yeah, Season 2 is overall pretty good. That last episode in particular is fantastic.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that we get, like, more of a vision over what goes on in this world, you know?
Mm-hmm.
What was I going to say? So, what did you think about the pass and fail in that finale? Alright, you know
I
what?
thought that was...
Let's go ahead
Go
and
ahead.
say spoilers for The Good Place.
All right.
Because we've been speaking vaguely, but I don't think we're going to be able to get far. Like, Good Place is such a spoiler-reliant show.
Mm-hmm.
But did it not kind of surprise you, for one thing? Like, you remember way, way back how I was like, man, do you have some questions about Good Place? And you're like, yeah, why is Chidi in the bad place?
Right.
Yeah. So it turns out The Good Place does not work off of intentions, it works off of results. Which fucks Chidi over.
It took you 82 minutes to pick a hat.
Oh, man. I love that. God, I love how Season 2's ending works out so much. Like, it says so much about Eleanor. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's something weird with how the show handles, like, the way these characters develop. And it seems like no matter what happens, no matter how many times they are reset or mind wiped or whatever, no matter what, Eleanor always ends up being the best of them.
Right.
It's a very interesting concept for them to work with, considering it's basically the opposite of how they started.
Yep.
But you might be a little unsatisfied with the answer of, well, Chidi got into the bad place because he just took so long that he ruined the lives of the people around him. But Season 3 adds on a lot more and makes the answer a lot more satisfactory. I'll just go ahead and say that, because I wasn't very happy with the explanation for why Chidi was in the bad place. Season 3 very much makes it a lot better. I like
the sound of that. 'Cause, yeah, I too was always very confused as to exactly why Chidi was there in the first place, because it doesn't seem to me like he should be.
No. Well, I mean, if they're handling results versus intentions, then it makes a bit more sense. But even then, like, you have to think, like, Chidi still would have been a ethics teacher who taught a lot of people to be better people, even if he personally screwed up a lot of the lives around him.
Right.
But Season 3 further goes in on it and gives a much better explanation for why Chidi would be in the bad place.
Perfect.
And I love that they had to finish Season 2 on, like, hey, it's Ted Danson. We got Ted Danson. We need to do the reference. The reference needs to be made. But I believe I heard an interview. Ted Danson was actually really, really nervous going into that scene. And you know what I'm talking about, right?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You know what Ted Danson was originally famous for, right?
Not a clue.
He was the bartender in Cheers.
I've never seen Cheers. I don't even know what that is.
It's a late 80s, early 90s kind of work comedy that was considered a classic. Ted Danson plays a bartender, and everybody else are the bar patrons. And that show is also where Woody Harrelson and Kelsey Grammer got their starts.
Ah.
And I want to say someone else. Rhea Perlman, Danny DeVito's wife. And so Ted Danson is largely in most people's minds still the bartender from Cheers. So that's why in the season finale for season 2, he's the bartender at Eleanor's bar.
Right.
And that has consequences. As with everything in Good Place, that has consequences.
I would imagine so. He kind of broke the seam later.
But it's Michael, though, so you know that now that Michael's gotten away with breaking the rule this one time, he's going to keep fucking doing it.
Yep.
Because it's Michael. He doesn't know any better. It just kind of is how he is. And just in the background is just, how do I keep forgetting her name? Janet is just shaking her head like, no, Michael, no. Stop. You're almost into season 3. I'm excited for that one. Because season 3, like, all the seasons are great. I'm honestly, in hindsight, saying season 3 is, like, it might be my favorite. Season 3 is a great one.
Nice, because I was coming out of season 2 thinking that was my favorite, and I've only seen the first 2 seasons, so the fact that it can probably only go up from here is very promising.
It's weird to say. I would say season 2 is funnier than season 3, but season 3 hits a lot of good character development and poses a lot of very interesting questions. Puts the characters in a very interesting place, but that can be said for any of the seasons, really.
Yeah.
And season 3 does the best job of making you excited for the finale, making you excited for season 4.
Nice.
It does the best job of setting up the next season, definitely. Oh, I am so excited for season 4. Oh, that is such a good show. Would you still say that, you said Jason was your favorite character, didn't you? Or did you say Michael?
I think I said way back when that Chidi was my favorite.
Right,
When
I
you
think
had
you and
first
Soon
initially
agreed on
asked
that.
me.
Chidi is such a good one to go for. I don't know, after season 3, I'm very partial to Eleanor.
Right. It's like so hard to pick a favorite now, and now you've got Michael added into the mix because he's no longer
Well, even when he
season
was
1 Michael.
even when he was the bad guy, he was still a great character.
Yeah.
Right now, out of the main 6, the one I can only say who is my least favorite, which is Jason.
Right.
But yeah, like I said, Donkey Doug improves Jason quite a bit. So, whew. And I will keep mentioning Donkey Doug until it starts to make sense to Pink. And I'll
I'm
keep
waiting for
mentioning
that to happen.
it will never make sense to Addie, which is the part that makes me happy. Addie, how do you feel every time I invoke the name of Donkey Doug?
I'm not paying attention whenever you two talk about a good place, so...
Okay. We're just gonna keep mentioning it so that it'll slowly seep into your brain subconsciously. And when you go to sleep tonight, all you'll be able to hear is Donkey Doug, Donkey Doug, Donkey Doug. Alright. And other than that, let's see. You played Rainbow Six. Alright. So, when did the Warden buffs come out? Have they come out at all yet, or are they just in the beta?
They have not come out on the normal servers. They're on test servers right now.
Have you played on the test servers?
No.
Okay.
It's only on PC, so I doubt that he's able to.
Oh, I have
Right.
no fucking clue. They're a beta program on Xbox. We were in the Vermintide beta program, remember?
Yep.
But that was a pre-release beta thing. They wouldn't like it's very rare that games have ongoing test servers and shit on consoles. Like the only ones that come to mind are Xbox exclusives, and then freaking For Honor has made its BTS just be a part of the game. So
Yeah.
Pretty hard to have it separate.
Mm.
But like Smite only has PC PTS because it's a separate thing. Rainbow Six, separate thing. Things like that.
Yeah. Huh. All right. Pink, are there any major changes since the last time you played? Other than, of course, people getting in more time with the Mexico operators.
What was that last part you said? Because I only heard Mexico operators.
I said, has anything changed other than people getting more time in with the Mexican operators?
I want to say there's been at least one patch since the last update, but I don't remember any specifics about that because I actually didn't look at the patch notes.
Oh, so you don't know if they fixed the whole thing with abusing the shield to get hostage kill wins?
That was definitely fixed a while ago. So, yes, that's been changed. Now the hostage ignores friendly fire with fire damage completely. So Capitao won't be able to annihilate the hostage, and neither will Goyo.
That's a stealth Capitao buff right there.
Oh, yeah.
Because Capitao kind of sucked, and he still kind of does suck.
I would say he's been slightly improving over time, because with the changes they made to the asphyxiation bolts to, kind of bring in Goyo, because his ability is a fire-based ability as well. So they changed all the mechanics of the fire, increase the spread, increase the damage, or they might have actually decreased the damage on Goyo's shield. What's it called? The Vulcan shields.
Yes. My patchy boy is never going to be as good as I want him to be. I just want to play my badass eye patch cigar smoking man. Come on.
I enjoy playing Capitao, but yeah, he's not exactly the most exciting operator or the most viable.
It's fucking dumb because it's a first-person shooter, but I'm playing a character for his design.
UW. What would you do if Konami and Ubisoft made a deal and they added Big Boss to Rainbow Six? His ability was cardboard box.
I would play him immediately. Could you imagine cardboard box in Rainbow Six Siege? Like, fucking people are just running by and you're sitting in a cardboard box. Imagine if you were playing as fucking, I don't know, Fuse or, who is the Ash? And you just see a cardboard box walking into the enemy base. And it's got your teammate symbol over it. I got this, guys. Don't worry.
They'll not notice a thing. But then if people start shooting at you, you get the Metal Gear alert sound.
I think that's actually what happens if you play Metal Gear Online. Oh, man. What a fantastically stupid idea. But other than that, any noticeable changes, Pink?
Did my thing cut out, or are we just all silent?
No. Can you hear us now?
My thing cut out.
Okay,
fine. Great.
Ordinarily, we can't hear him. Today, he can't hear us. That's fantastic. God.
Hey, Pink.
There we go.
I'm back.
Anything change notably in Siege?
Nothing's changed in Siege. Let's see. I played a lot of Goyo because I only played him a little bit once he was released. I friggin' love Goyo. I feel like he was tailor-made specifically for me.
To play like a coward?
Absolutely.
Oh!
He's like a complex smoke. His utility is basically the same, but very different because smoke has the benefit of being able to throw it wherever he sees fit and activating it at any time he wants. Goyo's shield, obviously, you can only deploy them and then sort of sit back and watch them. But when you can get an explosion off that actually kills somebody, it's so satisfying.
Well, I'd imagine it's a lot more powerful than Smoke's thing, because Smoke's thing has never been terribly effective.
No, Smoke's utility is mainly for slowing down a rush or like a shield op. So they have to wait those 15 seconds or so that the smoke is active.
Yeah.
With Goyo's, it'll just bring you to a complete stop. Because if you wander over by the shield and then you shoot the shield and it blows up, you're either dead or there's a big wall of flames that you can't cross through.
The fire's not permanent, right?
No, it lasts 8 seconds, I want to say.
Right, okay. Less than the smoke, really, then.
Right.
It's just more temporarily lethal.
Yeah.
You're exchanging length for damage.
Yep.
And the fact that it gets to block bullets until it detonates.
Yep.
Interesting. So it's smoke, but different.
Smoke, but different.
Yeah. Well, I mean, part of the thing is smoke could... Yeah, definitely. I would say smoke also, you could use it more offensively, whereas Goyo, no.
Yeah.
Hang on, let's stop this firefight so I can set up this shield.
Yep.
I got this, guys.
Yeah, I've definitely used smoke very offensively in the past. Like, I've been able to shoot and down a guy who was on the outside. So if I can shoot him through a window, then I'll just throw a smoke out there and detonate it, and then he's dead. With Goyo, if I shoot him through the window and he's down, well, I just have to hope he bleeds out there, because I'm not going to be able to run over, jump out, plant my shield, then shoot it, and then lock myself outside because I can't get back in.
Oh, man. Oh, God. It's always fun talking about Siege and the stuff it can do. But it sucks for me. Like, it sucks because I know every time I have to play competitive Siege, you guys see me in action, which is to say not very actiony. I sit in the corner and I piss and I shit myself and I cry until I eventually get headshotted through a fucking corner. The only times I ever do anything in that game are when I'm playing Roamer, and that's because the Roamer pretty much gets free kills.
Right.
And speaking of smoke, I recently played together with Pink, and they nerfed my French voice, so I can't hide behind cover this anymore.
Montagna?
Yeah, Montagna was nerfed.
Really?
Yes.
I thought the shield operators sucked for offense anyways.
They did, but apparently not enough, because Montagna now genuinely has the freaking slowest in our sights, I'm pretty sure.
That's fine.
I think he's matched with other shield ops, but shield operators, in my opinion, have never been terrible.
I don't think they've ever been strong, though.
Blitz has been strong at several points.
Right.
Had to nerf him several times.
He's different.
But
he's special.
Yeah.
He is special. Our special boy. Who are the other shield ops? There's Montagna and Fuse. Those are the only two, right?
And Recruit.
Shut up.
I'm not going to acknowledge Recruit's existence.
My thing with the shields always was just that they slow the game down so much, which to the offensive team seems like such a bad idea.
Right.
Because every time we have a shield guy on our team on offense, it's always like, all right, everybody fucking stop shooting for a second while we fucking dance together.
Yep.
You can dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind. But if your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, then they're no friends of mine.
Precisely.
But yeah, so that my thing with offense wasn't really affected because I never have an offense, mate. Not since Fuse.
You can still use Fuse, just don't use him on the fucking hostage. It's not like he's non-viable. He's just not. You just don't use him on the hostage. If it's on a bomb, then you can just use him all the time. You don't need to worry about blowing up the bombs. Oddly enough. That'd be amusing if Fuse could do that and it just detonates the bomb and everyone dies.
Right.
Yeah. The reason
for my money, I think Fuse has some of the best weapons in the game.
He does.
Yeah.
Is easily one of my favorites.
The only issue I'm having with Fuse is how slow he is, but he's a big turtle boy, so...
Yeah.
That's true.
He's technically a shield operator.
Yeah.
Though I don't think anyone has ever played Fuse as a shield operator.
Fuse
is Siege's Kuzembo.
Yeah.
Didn't you try to play Blackbeard for a little bit?
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes it works. Most times it doesn't.
Well, I mean, your entire plan with Blackbeard is banking on the idea that they won't get more than one headshot. Which, Siege
No,
Online, no.
My entire idea of Blackbeard is I can maybe get a I can maybe get a headshot in the 0.5 freaking femtoseconds that the shield doesn't break from the wind. But sometimes not even that works because there was at least one thing on recording where I looked out, I had a shield on. The guy shot me once and I was dead.
Right, the shield's quite small. Honestly, it only blocks people who you're looking at. So
I was looking at him directly. Is the thing.
well,
I
yeah,
was aiming for his head, so I'm not sure what.
Did he have a shotgun?
No, he had a pistol. He had, I think it was the guy with the scope pistol.
Then you weren't looking at him at the right angle.
Possibly.
Also, did you have the gun up in iron sights?
Yeah.
Okay, that might be a little bit different. Also, lag is a thing. You might have lagged just a bit, and that that made you look slightly to the left or something. You know how that works.
Yeah, Jones. But yeah.
Yeah, Blackbeard has never appealed to me because it's so absurdly specific, and I get why it's fantastic. If you're the kind of person who is going through and snapping headshots, you want to make sure that you don't get snapped. But for someone like me who sucks at getting headshots, especially playing on stick, like, no, pass.
Right.
Give
but
me
yeah,
a
see,
3-speed operator with a shotgun and I'll call it a day. And an SMG. Like, Sledge is just my guy, man. He's not a 3-speed, but he has a good shotgun and he has a good SMG, and I'm golden.
But yeah, on offense, since it's been mostly freaking like Jackal when I feel like playing him and I don't feel like wasting the freaking ability slot. Because I want to play Jackal a lot of times, but a lot of times I don't because it's whenever I play Jackal I'm like, well, now I need to find a roamer.
I mean, you
Yay.
do. That's the point of the character.
Yeah.
I'd still disagree with that. I think Jackal's utility is always useful no matter what you're doing with him.
You do have a point.
Yeah.
What if, like, the anchor decides he's just going to leave the room to fuck with you?
Even if the anchor stays in the room, I've blown out the floor with a shotgun, looked down, and his utility is still able to be used from the second floor looking down. So I can just scan the room that they're hiding out in. And once he pinpoints the corner that the anchor is hiding in, that's a free kill for me because I'll just go blow out through the floor on that end.
Yep. Assuming he doesn't snipe you first.
Right.
I'm never fast enough to get them first.
But
the only time I ever win a firefight in that game is if I get a drop on someone.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I love his guns. I'd say Jackal is like the second best after Fuse. Gun wise.
Are Jackal's guns good?
Yeah, pretty good. Basically no recoil. Basically no recoil SMG. What do you think? Or assault rifle rather. What do you think?
But he's already got a good gadget. Why does he need good guns?
I don't know.
He's not a Season 3 or Season 4 operator, so power creep wasn't really that in effect yet.
I don't know how his guns stack up to everyone else's, but I probably wouldn't put him above like Ash or Twitch with the F2 or R4C.
How's Frost's gun stack up?
Frost's gun is very good, but it's got a slow rate of fire.
You are correct. I do remember that.
Yeah, it's got all the power and a low fire rate, which balances that one out pretty nicely.
Yeah, it's an assault rifle that kills you in 2 hits, but good luck getting 2 hits.
Right.
But yeah, when I'm not playing Jackal, it's Spock, AR shotgun.
Oh god, if we ever play Rainbow Six again, I realize there are pretty much only 2 characters that I play. If I'm on offense, I'm playing Sledge. If I'm on defense, I'm playing Frost, without exception.
But yeah, the bigger issue I had with the nerfing of the French operators, or at least the ones I play, was that Doc has no shield anymore, and the shield was the thing I don't know. Did I say Doc? Freaking hell, Rook has no shield anymore.
What do you mean no shield anymore?
He had the ballistic shield. They removed that.
What's the ballistic shield?
The put together shield, like the Vulcan shield.
Oh, yes, okay, yes.
I'm
Yeah.
back.
So
There you
hey, so yeah, Rook had the ballistic shield, but they removed it from him. So
What'd they
I
replace
had
it
to
with?
find
They had
Frick,
to
impact grenade.
shuffle all the secondary gadgets around because they introduced Goyo
Right.
and introduced the new deployable shields with the mirror slits in the sides of them. So they buffed the deployable shields and thus had to swap them around with some of the operators.
Some of the operators who had shit gear otherwise. What did Rook pick up then? In place
Impact.
of the deployable? Impact grenades.
Yeah.
Impact grenades not bad. Does
But
Rook,
the thing is,
does Rook
the
have a
thing is,
shotgun?
no, I don't
Okay,
think so.
Then the impact grenade
But-
fills a slot in his inventory that wasn't previously being used.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Because I play Rook as an anchor, I needed the shield to cover my blind side. So I can't play Rook anymore because I play everyone as an anchor. So I switched over to Smoke. Because he has a shield.
Well, can't you get somebody else on the team to volunteer their shield? Get
I
Goyo to
would-
volunteer his shield.
Yeah.
I would
Hey,
like
I've
to
got
die
3
today,
deployable
sir.
shields just to make sure they don't blow up in your face.
But yes, I switched to Smoke. And I mean, it worked out alright so far. I'm not really good at actually using the smokes, but I have been able to kill people with him, so you know.
Hey, Pink,
Better
does
than
Frost have a
usual.
shield?
I want to say Frost only has... Oh, wait, she might have a shield now, because I think they took barbed wire off her.
Well, that's good, because I never used... Barbed wire was kind of useless for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's already got the welcome mats. That's slowing them down quite enough as is.
If we ever play
But-
Rainbow Six again, Addy, you can take my shield. Unless I play Blitz, in which case get fucked. Or Bandit. Oh, God. Remember when I played Bandit? I sure was contributing a lot to the team, wasn't I? If they ever
I
throw any
found
grenades...
Bandit. Yeah, I didn't like Bandit at first, but I've actually had a lot of fun with him in recent weeks.
His guns are good. His guns are fantastic. That's why I played him.
Yeah.
But his gadget is like, well... if they take this one specific move without destroying my gadget first... It's a little situational, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Alright. You having a good time in Rainbow Six, Pink?
Absolutely. Goyle's my
Alright.
boyo.
Alright. And you haven't tried, what's her name yet?
Amaru, I've played as her multiple times. I still think she's bottom tier.
What do you think she needs to have to improve?
She needs to be able to bust through the walls of favela, since they're made of cardboard anyway.
You know what? I actually wouldn't mind to see some sort of utility with her where she can vault through soft walls. I think that might be going a little too far.
And when she does, she has, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be great to see her drop kick through it, but I think it'd make more sense if she had to do it like with a shotgun first, so her arrival is announced.
Right.
Hang on, can she do it? She can do it on windows that are on the same floor as her, right?
No,
She can't.
she cannot. It can only be a floor above her.
Okay.
She can't zip line to a window that is adjacent on her level.
Okay, because I was thinking of a moment of her fucking ziplining to drop kick somebody through a window that was on her level, and in my head it looked awesome.
Yeah.
So Pink, what if they remove the limit on the zip lines? What if you become Batman? Would that fix her?
Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing the limit be removed because you're probably only gonna get 2 uses out of it anyway.
Well, I mean, if they make
Like-
it infinite, then people definitely have to cover the floor panels.
Because as it stands now, with the zip line, you will either be zip lining up onto the second floor or zip lining up into a second floor window. And that is where your utility ends, for the most part. Unless you can find a hatch to blow out and then zip line up to that one, then that's another use from your zip line. But other than that, you're probably not going to use a zip line more than once.
So you don't actually see her climb through roof hatches that often?
Not that often.
Do you think that's an underappreciated strategy?
I absolutely do. Because there was a match I had yesterday or the day before that, if I played the day before that, where I was actually playing as Fuse, and I had gone onto the second floor. It was a room on the second floor right underneath the objective room, and I could blow out the floor with my shotgun in order to try to pick off some kills from underneath them. But that was like one instance where Amaru would have been really useful, because I could have just walked over, blown out the hatch with her shotgun, then ziplined up, and then taken care of business from that point on. So there's definitely a lot of strategy that could be used with Maru going up through a floor panel, but the odds of it happening in...
Alright, we lost you, Pink.
Yep.
Addy, do you remember if there are any rooms in Rainbow Six Siege that had both a floor panel and a roof panel?
Alright, I'm back.
I don't think they're already.
Were there any rooms in Rainbow Six Siege that had both a floor panel and a roof panel?
There might be a few. I cannot recall any at the moment.
The only one that's similar to that I can think of is Oregon, but I think that's only a roof panel.
I want to say the main hallway. It's not a hallway. It's that main lobby type room that has a both floor panel and a roof panel. But I don't even know if it's an actual roof panel. It might just be that one ladder area and not actually have a roof panel there. The roof panel might be off in the other room.
Because I would question if, like, in that kind of room, you could set up some kind of weird vertical pincer strategy. I don't know who the upper pincer would be. At first I was thinking Fuse, but in hindsight, that'd probably just result in Fuse killing Amaru.
Right.
Hey guys, I'm here, boom. Fuse. The good old Fuse ace, huh? 6 kills. Fuck.
Fuse only true aces game of Rainbow Six Siege is when he is the last man standing. Everyone must fall.
10 kills, Jesus. 10 kills, you win, gets kicked from the game. The hardest choices require the strongest of wills.
Absolutely.
Oh, man. Alright, and you put in Thomas Civ 6, right?
Right.
Okay. Are you still recording Guitarja?
I'm still recording Guitarja. That playthrough is not done yet. I've not recorded since last week, but I've still got lots of content to upload.
And who are you playing off recording?
Off recording, I've been trying out Canada.
Canada, okay. That's a little... I tried Canada, I don't know, probably about a week ago. And at first I thought it was weird when I read that Canada was one of the most low-tier civs in the game. Yeah, I get it. I get why. Like, it was especially bad because I spawned out an island by myself. And I was like, oh, well, you know that unique Canada ability where they can't have surprise wars declared on them? Completely fucking useless!
No, there's a 200% chance that they can't declare a surprise war on you.
And I fucking spawned on an island that only had one tundra tile, too, so Laurier's ability to get more food out of tundra, useless.
Yep.
Oh,
So
man.
I
And other than
I
that,
have picked-
they get Mounties, which do not show up until the late game. And
Right.
what was it? Hockey stadiums, which do not show up until the late game.
Mm-hmm.
So Canada is an awkward civ to get used to.
Yeah, it's like they were built to be like a diplomatic victory centered civilization, but the diplomatic victories are so random and hard to obtain that there's not even really a good strategy to go about that. So
I mean, one of the things that they changed in Civ 5, you got more votes in the World Congress depending on how many city-states you were basically suzerain of. And is that still in Civ 6? Because I've not gotten far enough in the game. Like, realistically, the farthest I've gotten in any game, I think the farthest I got in any game was just the other day I played a game as, I don't even fucking remember who, maybe the Congo, and I just got to industrialization, and then I stopped there.
Right. Yeah, that is still a thing. The city states that you are a suzerain of will give you like +1 diplomatic favor per turn. So if you're the suzerain of 10 city states, you'll be getting 10 diplomatic favor per turn. So that is still a thing.
Yeah. And you get diplomatic victory points by having your resolutions pass Congress, right?
Yes.
So mostly it's kind of the same as it was in Civ 5, where your main goal with diplomatic victory is going to be hoarding city-states.
Yeah.
Okay. I can see where that one can very quickly turn into a military thing. I see that.
Right, but
there are some civs that fucking hate city-states. Looking at you, Barbarossa.
yeah. And Barbarossa is in my game that I'm playing right now, so it's like there goes all my ability to, take all the city states for himself, because Barbarossa might just steamroll them at some point.
Oh yeah. Well, I just sometimes like that. I will just nip it in the bud by killing most of Barbarossa's cities. I will go through and I will conquer his cities. I'll take them for a little bit, and maybe I'll pillage some of his stuff. And then, I just had an amusing instance in one of my recordings where I went to war with Cleopatra because I don't trust her. I took her city, made peace, she ceded me the city that I conquered, and then it immediately rebelled. I beat it as a free city, and then liberated it back to Cleopatra. So after all that shit, Cleopatra was like, hey, you're cool. Despite the fact that I effectively made her city entirely useless for like 50 turns, losing her a ton of progress.
But hey, you liberated it back in the end, so we're all cool here, right?
Yeah, liberating, by the way, will instantly make you like best friends with whoever you liberated the city for. And I want to say, it may have some effect on grievances. It may lower the amount of grievances you take. I'm not exactly sure.
Right.
And of course, it's much better for like Australia or something than it is for anybody else, but Australia is well built for all the victory types. Who are we kidding?
Absolutely.
John Curtin is fucking OP, man.
What a powerhouse.
Like, it's crazy because you look at Australia and you look at that first ability and you're like, oh, that's trash. When I'm only going to get into liberation wars every now and then. And then everything else, it's like, oh my god.
Yep.
Like, Addy, let me go ahead and point this out. Hojo is number 2 on the tier list right now, I think. And he has crazy stuff like, oh, samurai, they deal 100% damage under any circumstance, even if there's only one samurai left. Only if they have 1 health, they'll still deal their max damage. And all their cities become massively better based on how close they are. And he can build pretty much most of the districts a lot faster. He is number 2 compared to Australia. Australia gets more land when they get cows. It's just too powerful.
Well, here's the thing. If everything was trying to kill you like they do in Australia, you would also be overpowered.
Yeah.
It's Darwinism.
Oh, man. Who is the lowest tier in the game? Tamar. I asked that in midway through. I was like, Tamar, duh. They introduced Tamar like 2 years ago, and she's still trash. Like, the Civ concept, past a certain point, they just have to admit that the concept of the Civ is trash. Build faster walls. What? Like, ugh. And it's weird, because she's actually well-suited to a diplomatic victory. She's the only Civ in the game that gets bonuses to picking up envoys.
Right.
But everything else about her is trash. I looked up her unique military unit. You know what her unique military unit does?
I don't have a clue.
It's a swordsman that gets +3 strength when on a hill.
Okay.
When on a hill, yeah. Bring it on.
But only on a hill.
Only on a hill. If I'm on flat land, I'm running. Piss your pants and run. Yeah, that's a real fucking show off against Roman legionaries that come at the same time, or Greek pacifists. Oh man, have you seen how fast pacifists can take cities?
Yes.
I
have.
You can take a city with like 3 pacifist attacks. It's ridiculous. Like, Alexander is one of the dumbest civs in that game to play. Because you can just fucking annihilate everyone within the first 100 turns. But if you don't, well, rip. It's like Alexander the Great in real life.
Yep.
The flame that burns twice as bright burns half as long. Oh, that's such a good game. Okay, with Canada, have you been able to make use of any of Laurier's special abilities?
I've got multiple cities settled in Tundra right now.
Oh, yeah,
And-
I know that competition. It's hot with Peter.
I
Is Peter even in the game?
don't think so. So far on the continent that I've landed on, I've got Germany and Sweden right above me.
It's a funny thing with those civs that are like, oh, well, I'll take the useless land. Because on one hand, you absolutely feel like you should take the useless land because it's better for you. At the same time, you do want to still be competitive for the good land just to fuck over everyone else.
Right. I want it all.
Yeah.
I only really picked Canada because I had the game prior. I wanted to play as Alexander and go for a quickish domination victory. So I was like, oh, small map, only like 4 civs here. I'm just gonna waste some time away as I wait for the podcast. And then I spawned and I'm like in Tundra immediately with a desert to the south of me. I'm like, okay, this is a horrible spot. Reroll, Tundra everywhere. So it's like, you know what? I'm going to be a civ that doesn't mind Tundra, but I don't want to be Peter because I don't want to be overpowered. So let's go with Canada because I hear that they kind of suck.
I would like to hobble myself, sir.
Yes.
Please, just cut out my thighs and then reconnect my knees to my hips.
It's like, I've already gone for so many domination victories, and Canada's thing is sort of that they're not allowed to have a domination victory. So I'll go peaceful, I'll go for culture, and I will not be bothered by Tundra. And guess what? Once I spawn in, I'm right inside all the Tundra. So I'm like, yes, this plan worked out perfectly in my favor.
Oh, man. I put in the Discord chat my Alexander game the other day, right?
Yes.
Dual Pangea. Let's get a quick domination win in just for funsies. Coupe. Fucking Coupe. I didn't even see any quadriremes. Where the fuck was he? I spent more time fighting barbs. It's the awkward thing you have to get used to with Alexander and Moctezuma is you have to get that early game war in. So if there's no civs near you, you just have to get by on fucking eating city-states.
Right.
And you need to desperately hope that you spawn near to a useless one like Auckland that won't hurt that much.
Mm-hmm.
But if you spawn next to Geneva, then it's like, well, I don't want to kill Geneva. Geneva's great.
Right. All those science civs, not civs, city-states, those are very helpful.
There's 1 or 2 that aren't as good. Palanquet's an odd one. Well, I guess no, Palanquet works. What was Hattusa's? Oh, Hattusa's the one that gives you strategic resources. That's also good.
And precisely.
Most of the religious city-states can go.
Right. Those are the ones you want to topple.
Yerevan needs to stay. Yerevan's fantastic. And, Addy, have you watched any of Spiffing Brit's Civ 6 videos?
Probably, but I don't remember a lot of them, so...
Okay. There is pretty much a way to just cheese the hell out of the game with Yerevan. And I think it's particularly with Eleanor of Aquitaine right now. Because cities take more loyalty damage from you if they're following your religion, right?
Yeah.
So, Yerevan has a unique thing where if you're their suzerain, then you get to choose what promotions your apostles would take, when ordinarily it's selected from a random pool. So if you find a natural wonder as Eleanor of Aquitaine and Yerevan, which is a very specific circumstance, then you can basically just print tons of super efficient apostles, spread your religion to all the nearby cities, and Eleanor of Aquitaine, being who she is, she can just eat those cities.
Oh,
Which, Pink, you did do an Eleanor of Aquitaine playthrough, right?
Yes, I did.
How strong is her loyalty thing?
Very strong.
Okay.
I want to say I completely peacefully wiped out Denmark and then most of Norway.
Denmark is not in the game. Do you mean Sweden?
It's not Sweden, it's the Netherlands. That's what I confused it with.
There's a big difference there.
Big difference. I don't know
completely,
why I pulled Denmark out of my ass, but there it was.
completely peacefully, only using mustard gas.
Only using the roses of her beautiful garden, she swears. The roses are not poisonous.
Please don't touch it.
Please don't touch it. Oh man. But oh man, I'm playing through with Netherlands right now, and Netherlands is a weird one. It's in a really strange spot, particularly Wilhelmina's. Have you seen Wilhelmina's unique ability for just herself?
I've not.
It's shit. Trade routes within your own cities give loyalty. Trade routes to foreign cities give +1 culture. The only thing that's really good for is helping you with culture in the early game to try and rush to like Merchant Republic. But like,
Right.
That's it.
It's not great.
If you can hoard trade routes, it might give you like, I don't know, +10 culture. But you can get that from 2 great works anyways. And people like Peter and Mvemba can just hoard great works like nobody's business.
Yep.
I want to say the other one with her was just that for Wilhelmina, every district, well maybe not every district, but campuses and theater squares get the same adjacency bonuses with rivers that commercial hubs do. Which is also not great.
Right.
Because those river tiles you want to be used for either commercial hubs or farms. Or certain wonders. Not for fucking theater squares. She's a weird one. I did just get her unique ship, though. So that might change things.
All right.
I'll probably record later that later today because I do want to have some fun with that.
Nice.
Who would you say so far is the most fun Civ to play?
Australia. Because they're so freaking powerful.
I don't know. I didn't like. I understood the whole thing with Australia being ridiculously powerful. I didn't get very much into Australia because they just kind of have a little bit of everything to me, which was kind of boringly generic, you know?
Right.
Pick up land from cows. Oh, well, fuck me. Oh, how am I supposed to ignore that? Oh. I mean, I'm prone to appreciating the ridiculousness of Moctezuma or Alexander and just knocking over people in the early game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's especially great for Moctezuma being able to rush districts with that. But, oh. Pete, have you got to play Peter yet?
I've played a little bit as him once. I didn't progress probably past the ancient era.
You need to give Peter a try, because when people say that you do not have enough space for the amount of great works you will get, they're not fucking joking.
I absolutely believe it.
When I played Peter, I didn't get to even the medieval era. I was like at the end of the classical era. And I've got 3 fucking great writers sitting in my city, waiting for me to finish another theater square. In hindsight, you know what I should have done? Because there's a thing with Peter. Peter's got his mechanic where he gets more culture from people who are better than him in culture, right?
Right.
What I should have done, I should have just fucking sold it. I just should have just fucking sold the great works.
Here, borrow my great works so I can get some culture off of you.
I'll just be selling them like, hey, want the Iliad for 600 gold? It's just a book. Like, this is half of your treasury. Give me it for this book. And, like, ordinarily I hate the AI because the AI is always bothering me for great works. When I'm playing as someone like the Congo who needs them. And they're just always like, hey, I'll buy the Odyssey for like $50. And I'm like, fuck off. And I'm getting a notification every turn. Pedro wants the Odyssey. Cleopatra wants the Odyssey. Trajan wants the Odyssey. Oh, man. How far did you get in your Australia game?
All the way. That was one of my victories. It was a culture victory.
Oh, you got a culture victory. Okay, I want to ask for one thing. How much did you use the diggers?
A lot. Diggers come in the industrial era?
Yes, they're the
Or is
replacement
it-
for World War II infantry, aren't they?
They might be. I don't remember. I remember it's closer to late game than it is early.
Definitely. Well, they have guns.
Absolutely.
The guns that arrive in the middle of the game kind of suck ass. Well, they actually don't. I was expecting them to suck ass, and then I got that free city in my Netherlands game, and it spawned muskets, and they just wiped out my knights.
Yeah, musket men are very powerful.
They genuinely changed the game.
Absolutely.
It's
So,
weird. I'm used to
I-
other strategy games where knights can beat guns. Too much Total War for me. How much does he use the actual Liberation War thing? Because I didn't think you'd use it very much. Oh, can you use it
I
for
did
other
not get a
people's-
Liberation War off because I don't think anyone of my allies were ever in danger of losing a city during a war, because for the most part, everybody was peaceful. I don't think I had any warmongering civs in that playthrough. It was all the peaceful ones like Pericles or Sweden or others like that.
You and me got opposite problems, man. Every fucking game I start, hey, Moctezuma, Trajan, Cleo, Alex, fuck me. I also get Mvemba a lot, which isn't bad, but the rest of them, fuck them. Mvemba's one of the few neighbors you actively hope for. No, that's such a good game. We should probably move on before Eddie falls asleep.
Oh, yeah.
Falls asleep or gets angry with jealousy. That is such a bad situation. I wish I could have known that going in. Oh well. Alright, Addy, what'd you do this week, man?
Right, so, for one, I started and finished Doom 2016
You finished it.
in one day.
Really?
Yeah.
Madman.
Doom 2016 is one of those games that I'll pop in like once a year, like, oh, I love Doom 2016, and I play it and I have a great time and I play 9 levels and I'm like, alright, I'm done.
I finished the whole campaign mode in a day.
That's insanity. I stopped once you first go to hell. Once you get out of the first trip to hell, that's when I stopped.
I mean, to be fair, I wasn't paying attention to the story, and the thing is, I wasn't even speedrunning it because I got a couple collectibles as well. Like, I even went out of my way to find collectibles. Sometimes.
Oh yeah, the collectibles are fantastic in Doom. Doom is loaded with hidden collectibles, and the game rewards you for it like mad. Like, by the end of it, were you just a crazy super soldier that was unstoppable?
I mean, I wasn't quite that. Well, technically, I say I wasn't quite that, but then also I rarely ever used the BFG. I used the BFG 5 times during that whole playthrough. 5
The
times.
final boss?
No, actually. Okay, actually, I used it 7 times. You're right. Because I did use it 5 times on the boss, and I used it twice in the area. I think it's the area before the boss, because like I didn't have a problem with killing most enemies with the normal weapons, and then Pinky's bum rushed me, and I kept dying to them. So I was like, okay, BFG.
Yeah, that was a big part of why I was confused when you were talking about pinkies. Because in Classic Doom, pinkies are one of the first enemies introduced, and they're not that bad. You can usually kill 1 and 2 shotgun shots. But in 2016, oh man, pinkies are a lot more intimidating.
I hate the Pinkies. They're the worst enemy type in the game.
They're so aggressive.
Not just that, but it's also that you need to shoot them in the back. Like, the shield guy, you also need to shoot them in the back, but the shield guys don't charge at you every 2 seconds, and there's not 50 of them in a room.
Oh, I hate the shield guys. I hate the shield guys more than I hate pinkies.
I hate pinkies more because the shield guy's shield gets depleted, but the pinkies have bullet repellent skin.
Well, don't you shoot in their mouths?
Can you?
Yeah,
I
they
don't
always charge at
know.
me with open mouths.
I don't know if you shooting them in the mouth counts as a normal shot or not. Because like you can kill them with the shielded shots as well, but it takes like 50 shots.
Did you try
So-
jumping over them and shooting them in the back midair?
No, I always strafed around them while they charge at me and shot them in the back.
But you do have a double jump.
I always forgot about that.
I don't know. It might be more difficult to pull that off on stick.
Could be.
Yeah. I always remember Pinkies are like the ultimate, like, on PC, I guess it would be described as an S plus left click enemy. But I guess on controller, that's probably back plus right trigger.
Yeah.
How much attention did you pay to the TF2 community when it was at its peak?
Not at all.
Okay, I thought you paid more attention to that. I guess you just know the memes, huh?
Yeah.
Gotta know the memes. But people in the back in the day used to mock the Pyro as being a character that you just played by pressing down W and left click. 'Cause that's how a lot of people played him. Run forward, shoot fire.
Beast Dragon.
Yeah. Lollipop Dragon. Rainbow Dragon. There we go. That's how you get him. Anyways, so I got a question for you with Doom 2016.
Yeah.
Did you play with the classic Doom camera?
No.
Why?
Because while I did play Doom a lot when I was growing up, I don't actually have a shit ton of nostalgia for it somehow.
Oh. I'm going to be honest. I don't know why. I don't know what aesthetic there is I like about it, but I just prefer having the gun in the middle of the screen. And I know it looks dumb as hell to a lot of people. Like, Pink, what do you think of putting the gun in the center of the screen instead of on the right? See, Pink thinks it's so stupid he's not even going to say anything.
I'm speechless.
Speechless. That's the way to summarize it. Yeah. Admittedly, sometimes when you got a rocket launcher, it does kind of look like you got a rocket launcher for a dick, but you know.
Who's to say you don't?
The biggest mess up that I did during the whole playthrough that I want to say I think is the biggest mess up that I did is I didn't realize until the second time you go to hell that both shotguns use the same ammo, so I kept using the lower power shotgun, which had an explosive shot to dispose of enemies, and then I found that I'm like, okay, you know what, super shotgun.
Yeah. The super shotgun consumes more ammo, but the thing is, it saves time.
Yeah.
I wonder what the metrics are on that. If the super shotgun technically, what is the damage per shotgun shell for each gun? Like, does the super shotgun actually just deal the shotgun's damage twice? Or does it deal a little bit more? Or a little bit less?
I feel like it deals a little. I feel like from what I saw on boss health bars, so it's not really lab freaking number crunching shit. But from what I noticed, the normal shotgun with the explosive shell, or with the explosive shot that you can do, did less damage than the super shotgun did at similar range.
Huh. I guess that would make sense. Because there definitely seem to be a lot of occasions where it would take me a while to chip somebody down with a regular shotgun. But if it went up with a super shotgun and just blew their face off.
Yeah. My favorite was when a cyber mancubine spawned in, and I had a quadra damage buff on, and I shot the mancubine from like 15 meters away with the super shotgun once, and its head blew up and it died. That was fun. It was very classic Doom.
Yeah, there is a lot of classic Doom there. Doom 2016 is probably one of the best examples of taking a old retro-ass game and making it modern in a good way while still being true to the spirit of the originals.
Okay, I just realized what I messed up during the playthrough. So I realized this just now by thinking about my overall opinion on the game, and it's like when I first played through when I first started the game, I thought that it was mediocre because, well, it was really fast. I couldn't tell what was going on. Everything was a bullet sponge. So I was like, I don't have time for this. Now that I played through it, and you were saying that it's more like a stylish action game. I was like, you know what? Melee character.
Fight aggressively. Yes.
Yeah.
That is the first lesson that Doom tries to teach you is fight aggressively.
And the only thing that I really freaking that I should have done with my playthrough is I should have had Devil Trigger on loop in the background.
Oh man, and it's only gonna get more character actiony in Doom Eternal, because they pretty much are giving him the Nero hand, the Devil Bringer now.
Yeah, imagine that playing through Doom on Earth it's Devil Trigger. When you go to hell it's Subhuman. Pretty fitting, yes.
Yeah, you're not wrong. If I had to listen to Subhuman in hell, I think I'd consider that eternal torment. Oh,
That's what you cut out.
I'd consider that eternal torment.
Do you not like Subhuman?
No.
I think
Well, hang on. There are times where I enjoy listening to it, but I think it's trash.
So here's my rank. Yeah.
I would say that there is one stretch of the song that I enjoy, and most of the song is like just bleh.
I specifically only like the flow of the singing. But
you should have listened to the original version.
But like my ranking of the DMC5 teams is Devil Trigger at top, Subhuman under it, and then Crimson Blood or whatever V's team is at the bottom. Because like I get that he's goth and emo and shit, but bloody hell.
Oh, I'd much rather take Crimson Cloud over Subhuman. Fuck that.
I just wish it actually had lyrics.
It does.
I wish. I know, but it's so little amount of lyrics.
The trouble is the instruments are so loud.
Yeah, that as well.
She is singing a lot more. You just can't hear it.
I also don't really like the instrumental part. I think that's another issue I have with it.
It's kind of going nuts. It's definitely very very Marilyn Manson-y, which I'm fine with because I kind of like Marilyn Manson. Which I'm sure Pink is over there shaking his head violently.
Indeed.
The only Marilyn Manson song I like is "Beautiful People." So.
I've got like 5 or 6, maybe even 7 that I'm sitting on. You like Sweet Dreams? Come on, that's the one everyone likes.
All right, I guess Sweet Dreams as well.
And
Is that the Eurythmics song?
it is the Eurythmics song, but he did a cover of it. It was the song.
How dare he?
When he did the cover of that, that's what got him famous. It's actually
How
not bad
dare
for the
he?
most part. He ends it in a very, very Marilyn Manson way, but throughout the opening stretch up until then, it's pretty all right. What was I going to say? Right.
Doom.
Well, clearly, before we leave DMC, I will go ahead and say the best DMC song in DMC 5 is Silver Bullet.
I disagree. I think it's too electronic.
I think it works for the fight, which I can't talk about too much because it's a big spoiler. But it's a unique theme. It's different than what you'd expect, but it fits how strange that fight is. Because that's not at all how you expect a final boss fight to go, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, back to Doom. Yeah, Doom 2016 is one of those games, like, it's a fantastic game. I'm perfectly comfortable not finishing it. At the same time, I am absolutely going to go back and play it again sometime, and again, and again. Because every now and then I just get the hankering for Doom.
Yeah, the Doom 2016 to me is one of those games where I was like, I finished it, I had fun playing through it, then I immediately deleted it because it takes up so much space, and I was like,
yes. That is the chief problem that gets in the way of Doom 2016. 60 fucking gigs.
That and the fact, like, to me, it's like I don't get the hype. Is the thing I think, because to me, like, it's not a bad game. It's not a mediocre game. It's a good game. I wouldn't call it the best game ever. It's like
Well, part of the thing,
I just don't think I get it. Is the thing, I guess.
part of the thing you got to understand here is that it was the first classically styled FPS after about a straight decade of COD.
Like I guess the reason I don't get it is because I removed myself from shooters for the whole time. So
Yeah. I mean, for my part, I also have spent a lot of like the past 5 years trying to deliberately go back and play classic shooters like the original Doom, Time Splitters, so on and so forth. So I've got more exposure to them, and I think Doom does miss some of the points of them, but I understand why it misses some of their points anyways. With that said, I am absolutely fascinated with how Doom Eternal is going to turn out, and it's probably the only thing coming out of Bethesda I'm interested in.
I wish up to the point that they would just add the freaking third-person camera. Just a big Doomslayer Trish.
You mean Lady?
Maybe. Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Lady's the one that uses guns. Trish is the one with the ridiculous sized sword.
Yeah, Lady.
Yeah, there we go. That's pretty much how Lady played in DMC4 anyways. God, when will they release the special edition of DMC5 and add Lady and Trish back? And Virgil. Where's fucking Virgil?
He's DLC.
God, they put him in the special edition every fucking game. Like, they don't believe in DLC, I guess.
Yeah.
Unless you want to buy the soundtrack. Okay, that's what they should do, is when they release the special edition, they should also add the full soundtrack. Anything to get rid of Subhuman. What was I going to say? I was going to say something else about Doom. Ah, man. It is funny that we were talking about Doom and DMC there, though. Because those two are always going to be intertwined for me. Because I still want Doom Guy and Dante in Smash.
They announced that they're... Dude, they announced that they're adding a new character to DMC5. It's gonna be DLC, only this one character, it's Doomslayer.
Well, see, then it would turn DMC5 from a 10 out of 10 to an 11 out of 10.
And then all those Doomslayers taunts are him playing with the bunny.
Yep. That's what I said for Smash. They gotta do it in every game. That, or he pulls out the little toy of himself and he does the fist bump. And Pink, you've seen the gif, right? The Doom Guy gif of him fist bumping his little toy and he does the tra-la-la-la-la.
Absolutely.
He needs to do that in every game he's in from now on.
Yes.
Doom Guy's such a funny character because there's so little actual characterization of him. Like, he doesn't talk at all. The only thing we ever directly told about him is that he kicks a lot of ass in hell, and that the demons are all scared shitless of him. But people have developed this ridiculous character for him, where he is simultaneously an unholy terror of a man, who's probably not even a man at this point, and yet he's also the most wholesome, sweet little, like, I think John Carmack said, like, he's an ardent Christian, he's still a virgin, all kinds of crazy stuff. God, he's basically crazy. He's John Wick times 10 when you think about it, considering that his entire motivation is that they killed his pet rabbit.
You're not wrong.
Oh, man. I hate the silent protagonist, but for Doom Guy, it just makes it funnier. He's just quietly being Doom Guy.
He's just silently breaking every UAC equipment that he can get his hands on.
He's pile driving the demons onto it.
Yeah. he's pile driving the computers onto the demons.
Well, that's a different turn. Oh man, Doom is so good. All right, did you do anything else, Addy?
Yeah, I finished my second playthrough of Mafia 2.
Okay, you talked about that. Now, my understanding was Mafia 2 was pretty much entirely just a story-based game, right?
Yeah.
Do you get to make any different choices in the game?
Nope.
Why would you play through it twice?
Because I like the gameplay.
Okay.
I like the gameplay and I like parts of the story. But the thing is, like, I don't get what it is. What's this obsession of every freaking video game developer to make a character and then give them the worst family member or friend or somebody who is there for the whole game or like a big part of the game or the introduction with Marcus.
Well, I mean, I haven't watched Sopranos, but wasn't that a big part of Sopranos?
I don't know. I didn't watch Sopranos either.
Pink, did you watch Sopranos? I'm gonna wager no.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Well, I think Sopranos was about him having shitty family members who made his life suck. At least partially.
But the thing is, like, for the whole game, you are stuck with this guy named Joel Barbaro or something like that. That's how much I like the character. I forget his full name.
Is that not the guy you play as in the DLC? Oh shit.
Yes. He sucks ass. He deserves his fate in the ending.
You play as a dead guy in the DLC?
Yes, you play as him. You play as him during the time that the character is in prison for 4 years or so.
Well, that makes sense.
Because in the ending, should I spoil the game for this who knows how old game?
Yes, because there's no way in hell I'm playing this.
All right, so the ending is, you were set up by everyone. Everybody wants to kill you, so you now have to kill the mafia boss who you work for, and then, for this you get to not die basically. So you kill him. He tries to get your friend, this Joe guy, to kill you, but he turns on them, and it's like you leave and it's all happy for like a good 5 seconds until you see that all of the other mafioso are standing on the door waiting for you to come out. So you then both of you get shot into different cars, and then they haul off Joe to kill him because he wasn't in the plan.
Heh.
Meanwhile, you get to go and live on into Mafia 3. I'm not sure who got the worst fate. To be frank.
I'll admit I'm marginally interested in Mafia 3, whereas I'm not interested at all in Mafia 2, so at least
You're not
it's got
interested
that
in
going
one?
for it.
You're not interested in one? You could have for me.
I'm not interested in Mafia 2, but I at least was moderately interested in Mafia 3, so it's got that going for it.
Mafia 2 is, well, the gameplay more or less still holds up. It has gameplay elements that I really like about it that I don't see in a lot of open world games, and it's only for open world.
Those being?
For example, cops can and will, if they catch you, fine you for speeding.
What?
So to counteract this, the game introduces a way to
A way to avoid being caught for speeding?
you can push the A button, and then that puts on the speed brake, so you don't actually go over what is the legal limits. And I like that because it's a bit of realism, but for a couple of parts that are not tied to the police, it's actually used in the story.
Okay.
And it's like a small thing that would be annoying, but I actually kind of like it because the driving isn't the best. So having a third brake is pretty good.
I mean, it's shortly after GTA 4, so I guess good driving just wasn't on anybody's agenda there.
Yeah. So that, what else was it? That's the big one that I can point at. I like the lockpicking mechanic, but
Every fucking game, Addy.
yeah,
Every fucking game. Did you lockpick in Payday 2 when we played that?
I think so.
You did. I remember.
Yeah.
It's not even a fucking mechanic in Payday 2. You just hold down the meter. Oh, man. Addy, you are a strange person.
I am. But yeah, overall, the game's pretty good. I like how it is in the like. I like the period. I like the things it's talking about. But you know, like I'm not really educated on that part of history and in there. So you know, it's good for me to sometimes go back and go, oh right, this is a recreation of what it might have looked like.
Yeah. It's World War II era, right?
I think it's Prohibition.
Oh,
It's it might be World War II actually. Yeah, I think it is because Rito starts out in war. So yeah,
it might be immediately after, because that's always the era they shoot for with mob stuff. Is
Yeah.
somewhere from the Great Depression to about the 50s. Maybe the 60s or the 70s at the latest.
yeah, definitely doesn't reach the 70s. I don't think so because I feel like I would have noticed.
You would have heard the Bee Gees playing.
Yeah, I would have heard the Bee Gees playing.
You know it's the 70s when they play Bee Gees, you know it's the 60s when they play Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
I have heard neither on the radio, so I think it only goes up to like the 50s or so. But I'm not sure because I'm not really good with that stuff.
Yeah.
I know that the game starts off on freaking Christmas, so we might shoot a one-off for Christmas on that.
We'll wait.
That's
Oh,
for the
man.
intro. But yeah, one thing that I disliked about the game, and I might have said this when I first played through it as well, was how it's like, okay, you got a shit ton of money through story missions. You can now go and get yourself weapons and guns, yeah, weapons and clothes, and then you stock up, and you're like, oh, all right, I guess this is how I look for the rest of the game.
What?
Immediately next mission, everything blows up. You are now naked.
That's fantastic. I like that.
I dislike that because you can't get attached to anything. And actually, another thing about the wanted system that I kind of liked, but I thought was annoying because of one mission, was how the cops, when the cops want you, if they get close to you, then they will actually profile you and write down the car's license plates. So you have to switch cars and switch clothes to not get caught.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it's not bad, but there's a mission where you get an immediate wanted level for both, and after the mission is done, they're not gone,
Yeah.
and you're in the middle of nowhere, which is an issue.
Sounds like it.
So yeah, it was a problem in that one mission, or right after that one mission, but otherwise it's a good mechanic, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty fun game.
Yeah, it was always a thing I wondered with GTA 5 too, as well. But GTA 5, you're going to be asking a ton of questions that will just never be answered.
So I also went back and tried to start Jedi Knight Jedi Academy.
All right.
What the heck is that?
It's a Star Wars game for the PS2 Xbox era. The controls are jank.
They just announced the HD remake for it, right?
Did they?
I thought that was one of the
I don't
topics
know.
we had on one of the podcasts. I thought it was a new game, but it wasn't. And you guys were like, no, that's a remake, Alex.
Oh right, yeah, maybe. I think so. Yeah, it might have been the second part. Now that I think of it, I don't freaking know. Either way, the controls are jank as shit.
Yeah, the footage I've seen of that, it seems pretty jank.
The thing is, like, I played the second game on PC, so technically I should have known. But like, I didn't expect for a third-person action game, or if you choose to play with lightsabers, it's a third-person action game. I didn't expect a third-person action game to have a freaking well, basically aiming mode constantly turned on.
Well, I mean, part of the whole thing was that it had realistic lightsaber cutting, so people want that. They want to be able to do that stupid vengeance stuff.
Yeah, they don't actually well, they might have the actual cutting, but they don't have the effects for it. From what I could tell so far.
Huh.
Because on the PC version of the second game, when something entered the wall, it left a mark for a couple of seconds and then the mark disappeared. In this game, it just goes through the wall and that's it.
Well, I mean, obviously physics stuff is too advanced for that time period.
It's not even physics stuff. I think it's just textures changing. Like it's literally just.
Not what
Yeah?
I meant. I mean, if you were expecting to be able to cut through the wall, that's not happening.
Oh no! I'm not expecting to cut through the wall. It's just on the PC version. When you can look down. If you look down, the lightsaber goes through partly through the wall. And where the lightsaber technically would have entered, and where it is right now, if you take it out, then there's a black mark texture left there. In this version, that's not present.
That's a weird console difference, that's for certain.
Yeah, because I don't think that's any different than just adding bullet marks.
No, I wouldn't think so, and unless it has to specifically suit the direction at which the lightsaber hit it.
I mean, I don't think so.
I mean, if it comes from looking at the floor, then it might be a thing of like you looking at the floor consistently would create too many burn marks, and it would cause the fucking game to overload from having too many textures to load in.
Who knows? So yeah, I started that. I can already tell that I don't like the story just because the freaking main character is named Jaden or something like that.
It's a hell of a decisive factor. I mean, you do you.
But yeah, you could out.
Go ahead, I didn't say anything of value.
All right. So yeah, I did that. I played through the first. I think it's just the first level of Ninja Gaiden 3. It does certainly exist. That game.
Say for Pink's sake that it's easier than the first.
The first level is easier than the first game. Then the second. Then on the second level, they introduce freaking RPG people again.
Oh,
I'm not
that
sure.
quickly, huh?
Yeah, so I'm not sure
Oh,
about how much
boy.
easier it is.
Now, I heard, though, that Ninja Gaiden 3 introduces a lot more crazy DMC combo stuff.
Yes, definitely. Just from the small bits that I've seen, yes.
Alright, well, that already makes the game easier.
Also, you're not forced into freaking first-person aiming if you try to move while shooting. It's now a separate button that you have to press to go into first-person aiming, and it also has auto-aim.
I think you've sold Pink on the game, then.
So yeah, there's that game. And then I also played Metal Gear 5,
Oh!
The Phantom Menace.
Why?
Because we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, yeah, I guess I'll give it another chance.
That's a curious choice. That's one game that I don't think if you would have liked it the first time, you'd ever decide to try it again. That's a pretty distinctive experience.
I don't know, because I didn't really have an issue with the story, just because I don't remember a lot of the story because it was so freaking bullshit insane. The issues I had was with the waiting game, and yeah, that's still an issue.
Yep. That certainly was a thing. Like, Pink, how far did you get in Phantom Pain? Not at all, apparently.
I think his mic is busted again.
Alright, Pink, we
Great.
can't hear you. So, Pink? Pink! Pink!
Dun 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 dun.
There we go, it fits now.
Yeah. Alright, anyway. Yeah, so I just did like the tutorial missions, I think. I literally just kidnapped the dog.
Kidnapped, okay.
Dognapped, sorry. Yeah, Pink.
Pink?
I'm back.
Pink, how far did you get in Phantom Pain?
Not far at all, I don't think.
Okay, so you definitely did not see the waiting game in action.
No, I finished the prologue tutorial thing, was stranded out in the desert, and didn't pick it up from there.
Understandable. That's one of those games that my opinion on it sours over time. That Phantom Pain's in a weird spot for me because it's like really the first. It's the first game on the 7th generation, or is it 8th?
Who the hell knows at this point? Continue.
I think
It's on a generation, and not the first.
8th generation. It was the first game on the 8th generation that really felt like an 8th generation game to me. And it will kind of always hold that spot. It will be like the game that I looked at and I was like, holy shit, these graphics. And this tech and this ambition. But at the same time, like, when you go into Metal Gear, you expect a lot of story. And boy, there's not a lot of that to go around in Phantom Pain.
Yeah.
You guys... Eddie, have you played past the first 10 hours of Phantom Pain?
I got to the first freaking Metal Gear, I think.
Right, the story drops off pretty quickly past the intro. Past the first couple missions, yeah. Particularly once you get past the Metal Gear fight, like, then the game really just kind of gets confused about what it wants to be. And just kind of starts to be a mediocre free roam game.
Yeah, I think I first stopped playing the game after the first Metal Gear fight. Like, I think I went into this compound in Africa, and I was like, you know what? Screw this.
Understandable.
And the thing is, like, the issue I keep having with games recently is not failure. It's not the game being hard. It is whenever I fail, the checkpoint is before I actually did the freaking objective.
Yeah,
and it's
that's pretty bad.
And it's like, it was a thing with Mafia 2 a couple times. It's definitely a thing in Phantom Pain. Because, like, just today, I had to go in and rescue a guy from the Spetsnaz. So I go in, I rescue the guy. I already have him full toned out. I just need to get to the LZ. And then I'm running from gunfire because they noticed me as I was running away. Running from gunfire, I jumped down a freaking rock, apparently to my death. And the game's like, okay, you know what? Beginning of the mission.
Yes, I definitely remember Phantom Pain being quite bad about its checkpoints.
And that's when I turned the game off.
Which is unfortunate, because that game gets a lot harder later.
Yeah, I remember having to sneak through a whole freaking like Air Force hangar that was just filled with Russians, like to the brim. And also there were also like 5 freaking D-Walkers or Hindies.
Yeah. The further you go in the game, the more the game just is like, okay, now all soldiers have helmets. Oh, now all soldiers have machine guns. Oh, now all soldiers are carrying shotguns.
Yeah, on one hand, I liked how the game adapts to you and how you play. So you know, if you're a sniper like me, if you don't go close to them, when you don't need to rescue someone, and you just you're on the freaking like this side of the mountain, just shooting at them without them noticing. Then after a while, they just put on helmets because, well, what the hell did you think?
Yeah,
and I like how
it eventually gets to the point where I don't have a problem with that. The thing is that in order to get rid of that stuff, you have to play the random waiting game.
That, and I also disliked how, like, it's there to encourage different playstyles to flourish with one player. And it's like,
does
okay.
It first. Once it gets to the point where they have all the gear, then it's no longer that. It's just, dude, get fucked.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is that it's supposed to be there to encourage different playstyles being played by one player, and then you get to the point where you can't rush them with shotguns because they have Kevlar vests on. You can't shoot them with a sniper rifle because their freaking heads are made of diamonds, and you can't stealth kill them because they have eagle vision.
Yep. That game's got problems.
Yeah.
And like within the Metal Gear community, it's already not really well appreciated because the story was such a letdown. But like even if you don't give a shit about story like you guys, it has gameplay problems once you get into the late game. I'm curious to get Mike on the podcast and ask about it because he thoroughly loved that game and he actually finished it. The madman.
The one thing that I really liked about the game was teaming up with Quiet and just doing freaking sniper missions as 2 snipers without anybody noticing either of us. I just wish she didn't breathe through her skin.
Yep. Yep, and Kojima's already on the fast track to making more weird, perverted fan service characters from his personal fetish book.
But yeah,
Okay.
I
Man,
also tried out.
it'd be
Yeah.
weird for you guys playing through the first 3 Metal Gears back when Kojima was good.
I mean, I have also I have the first three, so
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. That's what I was talking about. I
okay.
wasn't like assuming you guys will play Metal Gear at some point in the future.
But yeah, I also freaking tried out Tony Tony Hawk's, yeah, Tony Hawk's freaking Advanced Warfighter. Bloody hell, Tom Clancy's.
Tony Hawk's Rainbow Six Siege.
That's exactly
Goyo
what we need, a skateboarding operator.
Goyo was just fucking skating on his fire shield. If he wipes out, it detonates and kills everybody else.
Tony Hawk's technical stick skater. But it's written SK8R.
Keep going, keep going.
Anyway, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. That game has James Bond aiming, so I uninstalled it immediately.
Oh, alright. Next one.
Yeah. Castlevania Lords of Shadow.
Okay, how much does it suck?
It's like it's on the edge. So far, it's on the edge or between just flat out shit and mediocre. Like the combos exist. They are not really good, and you need to have a lot of points to actually unlock moves. And yeah, that's about it. The part that I really dislike about it is how quick time events are not button based but timing based.
Oh.
Aside from the time when they want to be button based, then they are.
Oh.
And it's like sometimes they give you such a small window to actually hit the thing.
I mean, quick time events in general are generally quite bad.
Yeah.
Like, it's less... Okay, what I want to know about the quick time events here... Does the game give you some kind of warning that they'll be coming up?
Well, I think they only happen in cinematic kills or when you grab someone, so...
Okay. That's better. When they do it God of War style, where you know, like... Well, God of War, you know every single fight there's going to be a QTE, without fail.
Yeah. The one part that I really disliked about the game so far is the horse level, the horse part of the level, I guess, because it's technically not the whole level. So the second level starts with a horse section, and during the horse section, you need to kill. Basically, you remember how you said that this cavalry is just rats riding bigger rats.
Okay, everything you said after cavalry got stuffed?
Right, so you remember how this cavalry is rats riding bigger rats?
Yes.
Yeah, imagine that but dogs. And those are your enemies.
Dogs
in the
riding
horse level.
dogs.
Yes, like I don't know if they're supposed to be werewolves or not, but they're like half between werewolf and normal wolf.
Interesting choice.
Yeah.
How does horseback controls in that game play?
They don't. So it's an auto-scroller, more or less.
Oh, okay, I was wondering if it was an auto-scroller, if you could just actually ride the horse.
No, that would be too much fun. You just need to decide which side to attack and how to attack it, whether you just want to attack the jockey or the actual horse.
The doggo or the doggo that's running?
Yeah. And that's like the part that's bad about it is not any of the parts that I've mentioned so far. The part that's bad about it is that you need to dodge away from attacks, but I'm not sure if there's actually a dodge option during the horse sliding. So, like, I might have just been shit and not read the instructions correctly, and that is very much a probable. But if I'm not being wrong here, then you just have to get hit.
Huh.
Which as shit as the game is overall, I feel like they wouldn't do that. So I'll chalk it up to me being stupid.
You don't know, man. You don't know.
Yeah. Also, the controls are not very fun.
Yeah. What I heard about Lords of Shadow has been summarized as it is a mediocre game built entirely out of ripping off much better games.
Yeah.
What I've heard is that every single part of that game is a ripoff of something else.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, I don't know if it was Lords of Shadow 1 or Lords of Shadow 2, but one of the boss fights is straight up just a ripoff entirely of Shadow of the Colossus.
I think it's the first one. I don't know though. The one thing that
There might be several.
the one thing that I was disappointed by the way, is I think in Lords of Shadow 2 you play as Alucard,
No, you don't.
and you don't. Who do you play as then?
Are you okay with being spoiled on Lords of Shadow 1 story?
I don't give a shit.
Okay, at the end of Lords of the Shadows 1 story, Trevor gets turned, and he renames himself Dracula. So that's the big ending twist of Lords of Shadow 1 is that Trevor Belmont is Dracula. And in Lords of Shadow 2, you play as Trevor as Dracula.
Yeah, so I played that game's demo. That game was at least 5 times more fun than this one.
Perhaps.
I'm not sure how they...
You probably get actual vampire powers there, so...
Yeah, because in this game you play as frickin' Gabriel, just some random knight dude.
Oh no, you're Gabriel. Is Gabriel Belmont?
I don't know. He might be. He does have a quote unquote whip.
Okay, no. Gabriel's the one who gets turned into Dracula. Sorry.
Okay. So that's why their designs are basically the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lord of Shadows timeline is like entirely different from the rest of Castlevania.
I see.
I was confused and thought that alternate reality Trevor turns into alternate reality Dracula, but apparently not. Main reality Trevor does not either.
But yeah, Gabriel in this game so far is not very fun to play as.
He looks like a stereotypical 2000s hero to me. They took everything from me.
It's not even that. You know the game that I have found the most resemblance in to this game?
God of War?
Dante's Inferno.
Oh no.
Even the story.
Oh no.
So yeah.
Oh no.
Because it's like... there was one cutscene that I paid attention to. And it was like... anger. Hatred. What gives a man power? No, it is not those. It is love. And it goes on about how his wife died, I think, or something like that.
Is it trying to rip off the Symphony of the Night dub? What is a man? A miserable pile of secrets. But enough talk. How about you?
I don't know. I don't think so. I just added the theatrics because it's Castlevania.
Oh, okay. The rest of Castlevania actually isn't very big on theatrics. I don't know how or why.
But yeah, so
seeing the classic Symphony of the Night dub just makes me think of how lame the new dub is. It's got fucking Yuri Lowenthal as Alucard.
I was going to ask who that is, but then I always remember that you're always raving about him being Sasuke.
It's Sasuke and PS4 Spider-Man.
Oh, it's PS4 Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, who is he? Dracula?
He's Alucard.
Oh.
Yeah, Alucard, the famously deep-voiced main hero of Symphony of the Night, voiced by Yuri fucking Lowenthal. Pink, you know who Yuri Lowenthal is, don't you? Pink, you're muted. What I'll always remember Pink, Yuri Lowenthal's voice. The Yuri Lowenthal voice I always remember is fucking, "Whoa, I won the lottery" from New Vegas.
That's
and
him
then
as
you
well.
shoot him immediately thereafter.
Yeah. That's Yuri Lowenthal, and everybody shoots him.
It did happen. It did happen in our playthrough. I actually think he was the first one.
You might have.
I just
He wa- he
ignore
wa-
him every
he
time.
wa-
Well, I ignored him the first time, but once I found out he was a former powder ganger, I started shooting him. Because now I have a good reason to kill him. The best one is always when people fucking... When that dialogue finishes and then the gif of them, it then cuts to the guy with a fucking fat man.
I actually think that when I found out that character is a powder ganger, I went back to whichever city that was, I forget. I went back there with the shotgun, found the house that he was in, and shot him while he was eating.
That's one of the upsides of Bethesda games. You can totally just murder somebody while they're at, fucking a diner or something, just sitting around eating.
No, he was in a house. He was in one of the ones that didn't burn down.
I love the idea of a person getting caught with their mouth full and getting killed. Like they're just like, oh, what's this fuck? Oh. Anyways, yeah, keep going.
About what?
Lord
Right,
of the
Castlevania.
Shadow.
Yeah, so I gave this game a chance because there's this thing I do with video games where when I play through them, if they're part of a series, then I look at them as a video game, and then I also look at them as a part of a series, which is why I have two different opinions on multiple Assassin's Creed games. And
Lords of Shadow doesn't work for either.
yeah, I gave it a chance because I was obviously it's not a really good Castlevania game, but it might be still be an alright game.
No.
I was wrong. So far it seems I was wrong, but I gave it a chance.
Pink, what do you associate as Lord Castlevania? When you think of Castlevania games, what do you think of?
Vampires.
Vampires.
And Metroid.
Vampires and Metroid. Alright. Now, what if I told you they made a new Castlevania where you are the vampire and it's God of War?
I'm confused.
Yes. So was everyone.
I feel like my favorite Castlevania would always be freaking Super Castlevania or whichever was on the SNES.
It's a lot
The
of
first
people's
one.
favorite.
The first one that had the swinging chain shit.
Yes.
Because I played the original Castlevania because everybody was raving about it, and I was like, eh. And then I
it was
turned
in
around.
for its time.
Yeah, like it's one of those games where I'm like, okay, I can see why people like this. I just don't feel like I will be able to appreciate it completely at this day and age.
Castlevania was one of the first games to not age well, so they decided to do it again. Because Super Castlevania is just Castlevania again, but better.
Yeah, and then I turned on Super Castlevania and I was like, hell yeah, this music.
Yeah.
So that's basically all of my Castlevania knowledge.
Yeah.
But hey, I like the music.
Was Super Castlevania the only Castlevania on the SNES?
I don't think so, but it might be.
Because I want to say Castlevania 3 was still on the NES, and Castlevania 2 was definitely on the NES.
What a terrible day to have a curse.
I know. I mean, Castlevania 2 was pretty cursed, so...
Yeah.
I'm going to look up Castlevania 3 really quick. No, not Castlevania
That's what
3.
That's what I'm also doing.
89. The SNES did not exist yet, so... I'm going to say yes, Castlevania 3 was on the NES. Besides, I've definitely seen the Trevor Sprite at some point, and the Trevor Sprite sucks ass, so... Oh, man. You know what's the wacky thing about Castlevania 3?
What?
The American box art has Alucard on it, but Alucard is just Christopher Lee's Dracula.
Oh.
With white hair. Which is entirely different from the Alucard we see in Symphony of the Night. Symphony of the Night. Fuck. Like, oh, that's quite a change there from Christopher Lee to long-haired pretty boy. Anyways, yeah, Lords of Shadow fucking sucks. What else did you do, Addy?
I like how Google's freaking spy network is a twerk. Right in Castlevania, First two things that pop up: Lords of Shadow 2.
No, it just assumes you have bad taste in video games. Based off your past search results, we have determined that you have bad taste in video games. Therefore, we have recommended to you Lords of Shadow. Would you like to also purchase God of War 2? How about Call of Duty Ghosts?
I have fond memories of Ghost just because I somehow
Why?
was able. I'm about to explain. So, when it was in public beta on the 360, even though I didn't have gold, somehow I could still play it, and I don't know how. And I got
They were giving that thing away.
Yeah, and I got a shit ton of headshots in it somehow. And like, they gave out Modern Warfare 2 or whichever one out for free. The first one maybe, the remaster. I mean, on PS4. And I went into the multiplayer mode with mods, freaking bots. Letters just don't exist, I guess. Not to me anyway. But yeah, so I went into the multiplayer mode with bots, and I just got annihilated. So
COD multiplayer always eluded me. I never understood the finer points of it.
yeah, the thing with COD multiplayer is that it's like to me it was a bit too fast, and I'm like I feel like because being fast about things and just liking fast things is me as a person. So I feel like I'm here with my freaking walking cane going, these whippersnappers and their fast games.
It's a weird, different kind of fast. There's different kinds of fast we can talk about. Because we could say Doom is fast, but it's a different kind of fast.
True.
Like, COD, you fucking live fast, die hard. Doom, no, you take quite a few hits in Doom. But you move all over the place, and you beat the shit out of people with your fists.
Doom, live fast, die to 15 pinkies up, climbing up your ass.
That sounds very different if you don't know what the pinky is.
Yeah.
15 pinkies going directly up your ass. Well, sounds like an interesting night. How much money do you have to pay for that?
$60.
Is it like per pinky? Is there like a per pinky cost? What's 60 divided by 15?
Do you want me to actually check?
It's 4.
Alright.
So it's $4 per pinky. All things considered, that's probably a
that's
fucking
steal.
bargain.
Yeah, that's a steal.
I mean, realistically, you need a ton of people for that many pinkies. So can they just they'll put all their pinkies up your ass and they can just carry you around as king.
Yeah.
It's like you're a parade float or something.
Anyway.
Yeah, Pink, how do you feel today?
So very confused.
Because Pink doesn't even know what a pinky is, so it's been that way for him the entire time.
So Pink, the pinkies in Doom are these enemies that are just bodiless little fingers, and they are very aggressive. They rush you down, and you need to hit them in their stump. That's how you damage them.
In their stump.
Yes.
And their fingernails are invincible, and they charge at you fingernail first. That's what Addy was talking about when he said he didn't like having to shoot them in the back.
Mm-hmm.
But the fingernail opens up, you see, on the finger, and it forms a weird, fucked up mouth. And that's what I was talking about when I said you shoot them in the mouth. So anyways, Addy, what you been up to?
Now, whenever you upload this podcast, just call it finger puppets.
Finger puppets. There we go. Podcast title. We got it.
Yeah.
I would have probably ended up calling it 15 Pinkies anyways. So. Alright. Addy,
yeah.
What else did you do?
Right. Let's see. Right, I need to look at my screen so I remember. I played one match against the bots in Friday the 13th.
That game's not great.
It's very jank.
It's very jank. It'll probably be a
And
lot funnier with people.
Not only is it very jank. Like I was with the version of Jason that would appeal to me the most, because randomly somehow I chose that one. And even then I didn't have a lot of fun.
Which
Because I went with Weeb Ninja Jason.
Weeb Ninja Jason. Do you mean Jason
Throwing-
X?
Throwing knives, teleportation.
Part 3 Jason?
I don't know. I didn't watch the Friday the 13th movies.
But they're labeled by which movies they're from.
They are?
Yeah!
Let me check. I'll turn the game on.
It's weird that they
Well-
included Part 5 Jason, who isn't even really Jason, but they neglected to include his mom from Part 1. I want that game. Come up with a fucking Friday the 13th sequel where you play as Pamela Voorhees. You guys know about that, right? That Jason wasn't even in Friday the 13th Part 1, really?
No.
I had somewhat of an inkling of that because I had read Mike's movie list from way back when.
Jason, like, as we know him, doesn't appear until Part 2. There is, like, a 5-minute, like, quick... not 5 minute, a 5-second quick jump scare of Jason's corpse in Part 1. That's the only time in Part 1 you see Jason. Otherwise, in Part 1, the killer is Jason's mom, Pamela Voorhees. Who is like... She's like a 50-year-old, like, stay-at-home mom wearing a fucking sweater. Like, imagine the mom from, like, Leave It to Beaver. And she's the killer.
But yeah, it is Part 5 Jason. That is Weebu Ninja Jason.
Okay, so you picked a Jason that isn't Jason.
Huh.
That's the one episode where Jason had actually stayed dead and someone else was copycat killing as him.
That explains the shitty cosplay and also the being a weeaboo.
Isn't he like way tinier and skinnier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Jason's on
also
a hell of a weight loss program.
he also is a scissor man.
Oh yeah, that's the one with the hedge trimmers. Right. I think that one gets some of the best kills though, some of the best fatalities.
I don't know. I haven't seen them yet.
Doesn't only one of the Jasons actually have the machete?
Oh yeah, it's Part 7.
Wow, Part 7? Really? What does the
Yeah.
Part 3 one carry?
Part 3 is an X.
An axe. I thought Part 3 was when he started to use the machete. Huh.
Let me list them. So Part 2 has a pickaxe. Part 3 has an axe. He lost the pick. Part 4 has the pick splitter. Part 5 has the shears. Part 6 has the spear. He's broken in half. Part 7 has the machete, and Part 8 has the fire axe. Part 9 has a freaking battle axe.
Wait, does Jason X not have crazy sci-fi machete?
Jason X. Which one is that?
Part 10.
Part 10 is not in the game.
No, they did not exclude Jason X. Look for
If I scroll,
the
if I
sci-fi
scroll past
robot Jason. Which one is that one?
none of them, if I scroll past Part 9, it goes back to Part 2.
You must not have unlocked Jason X then.
But it shows the locked characters as well.
It does?
That's the thing.
Well,
Yeah,
isn't there one that's Jason from Hell?
Okay, there might be additional locked ones then, or something like that, because Part 3 and Part 5 Jason are locked at the start. The rest of them are unlocked at different levels.
Right. I am 100% sure, for one, that they included their own custom Jason design of Jason from Hell or something like that. Demon Jason. And I am 99% sure they'd include Jason X, because that's like the most famous of the Friday the 13th movies for how stupid it was. Like, if there's any Friday the 13th movie you've heard of other than the first one, it's probably Jason X. Because it's Jason in space. Because it's so fucking dumb.
I don't know. I've only heard of the series as a whole, and I only heard of Jason versus Eddie or Freddy.
Jason versus Eddie, yeah, sure.
Yeah, he fights Eddie Gordo. It's really hard. We all know the struggle. Jason is really slow and only so much freaking hyper armor. So
You know what? Now that I think of it, part of the problem with Jason may simply be that the most iconic Jason design is the one from Jason versus Freddy. The green coat, the black shirt, and the hockey mask, and the machete.
yeah,
Is it part 2 Jason that's wearing the potato sack?
yes.
There we go. There's the real Jason. Fuck this hockey mask bullshit. Potato sack all day, every day.
I hope that potato sack Jason has a skin that has the potato has I'm not famous anymore on the potato sack.
Oh, I gotta ask one question before we move on to how you felt about the game. I forget. Do all the Jasons or only certain Jasons have the ability to teleport?
I don't think all of them do because they all have a different set of skills. So like I didn't go through all of them to check if they all have a teleport, but
Part 5 Jason can run faster, can't
you know
he?
the fact that
Wait, oh.
what?
Part 5 Jason can run faster since he's not actually Jason, right?
I don't know. I don't know that he can run.
Okay. Because I think some Jasons are supposed to be slower and some are supposed to be faster.
But then wait, how the hell did freaking Part 5 Jason turn into Mist?
He didn't.
But the
Part 5
gameplay.
Part 5
The
Jason,
gameplay.
Part 5 Jason isn't supernatural at all. He's just a regular guy who dressed up as Jason and started killing people.
No, I get that, but that makes the freaking abilities that they gave him
He can
make
teleport?
no sense. Yes.
Why?
Part 5 Jason has not one, but 2 teleports. He also has eagle vision.
What? What? Huh? That makes no sense. He's just a regular dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, the other Jasons are all like ghosts or demons, and they're all the same dude, but this guy's just a fucking regular guy who stole the mask.
Yeah, so Part 5 Jason has a skill where you, I think, turn invisible to the counselors. I'm not sure, but you basically become like 15 times faster, and then it's basically a teleport, but not really. Like,
Does it go into first person?
yes.
Okay, that's the teleport. I remember seeing that in footage.
So he also has a separate teleport where you open up the map, and where you point on the map is where you appear.
That's even worse. That's even more of a fucking teleport. What the
So
hell?
yeah, he also like the second ability you unlock. The first one is the map teleport, mind you. The second ability you unlock for him is seeing where the counselors are. So if you're near them, everything turns gray and only they are red.
Okay.
It's either them or where they are, or if they're in the house, then the whole house. So either this guy was really freaking good at his job, or the developers didn't get the memo about him not being an actual Jason.
Oh, right. Okay. Part 5 Jason's real name is Roy. And his whole thing was...
Is that he's from Fire Emblem?
Yes, exactly. His whole thing was that his son was at a mental institution and he was going around and offering everyone chocolate bars for some reason. And this was a movie from like the late 80s or early 90s, so our understanding of mental illness was not great. So the depiction of his son's mental illness was that his son was obsessed with going around and giving people chocolate bars. And he goes up to another mentally ill person, and the mentally ill person yells at him, tells him to leave him alone, and then shoots him and kills him. So Roy here takes that, and he's like, oh, well, they killed my son. Time to put on the Jason mask and start killing people. And that's pretty much the character summarized. And that is one of many reasons why most Friday the 13th fans apparently consider Friday the 13th Part 5 an embarrassment. The other major part being that the actor that played Roy's son was a pedophile, but that's also there.
Womp womp.
Yeah, that's a big womp womp entire story there. Let's be honest, him not really being Jason, they should have just left him out of the game. They should have just left him out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not a real Jason. Just give us fucking parts 2 through 4 and parts 6 through 9 or 10.
Put in freaking Fred versus Freddy Jason.
That would be a good one. What would they call
Put in
it,
Freddy
though?
Krueger. Put in Freddy Krueger.
I'd rather have anybody but Jason. Like, bless Jason, he's a classic, but Jason's not interesting.
Yeah.
Like, Freddy's difficult to put to a video game. Like, how do you deal with him? Because basically, if you're in the dream realm, Freddy's a god. He can't be stopped. How do you make that a video game? Just don't go to sleep? Just don't play the game, okay? And, like, Leatherface. Leatherface would be way more interesting. Because Leatherface is a fast fucker. Like, he's the complete opposite of Jason being so slow, but he can teleport. Like, Leatherface ain't gonna teleport or no bullshit. Leatherface ain't a ghost. Leatherface is just a regular crazy person with a chainsaw. But he's gonna chase your ass down. Skin your ass raw with a chainsaw.
So hey, do you want the Grudge games exist?
They do. What can you do there? Don't watch the tape. No, wait, that's
No,
Ring.
that's the ring. Do you want the Grudge is don't move into the cursed house.
I've never watched Grudge. I don't know what her thing is.
I think Ju-on is not actually just a person, it's literally a curse. Like-
It's a curse that just takes the form of a little girl.
No, I think the stories I actually haven't watched The Grudge fully through either because I'm a pussy. But from what I gathered from what the parts of the movie that I saw, as well as the video games that I watched, because they have multiple video games, by the way. There's like 10 of them.
Okay, I have not watched any of those. I have seen the Ring game.
But yeah, so from what I gathered from those, it's well, it first started out with somebody getting evicted from a home in Japan, and then they cursed the whole house. So that if it can be theirs, then it should be nobody's or something like that. And then the guy who got evicted, or the person rather who got evicted, dies or something, and their ghost starts haunting the place. And it's I think the more people die there, the more people get added to the curse. So, like being the 50th person to move into the cursed house, you're like, it's getting crowded.
You just open the door and a tide of ghosts come pouring out.
Yeah, and so I think it would have been like the third or fourth person moving in by the time of the movie. I think because it was the ghost girl. It was I think there was a separate woman or boy or something like that. I don't remember. And I'm also sort of just talking out of my ass because I don't know a lot of lore.
Yeah. This sounds like the movie version of Shining. It sounds like that, but Japanese, really.
So yeah, like the thing is, I really for horror, I didn't watch a whole lot of horror movies, but I for whatever reason I really like Japanese horror. So I wish there was more good Japanese horror in today's climate. There's plenty of Japanese horror. It's just most of it is shit freaking visual novels.
Okay, Addy, I've got a question.
Yeah.
Have you watched the Best Friends Shitstorm episode for The Ring?
Yes, but I also forgot what the freaking game was. So,
The game.
like, I remember watching the freaking episode. I don't remember the game.
It's the one. It starts off with. There's so much I don't want to spoil about it, but it's got the low quality CG cutscenes. It starts off with, and then it's like, surprise! This isn't really a Ring game. We slapped the Ring name on a horror game that's about VR instead.
Oh.
Because you got to go into the VR scenario and fight monsters inside the VR machine or something.
Oh.
And they just
I see.
slapped the Ring's 7-day curse on there because fuck it. We put the
Might
ring.
as well.
We put the Ring on the box. We need to have something from the movies.
The thing is, if they really wanted to make if they really wanted to put a movie title on a game that was about virtual ghosts, then they could have just put freaking what was it? I think it was .com or something like that. There was this horror movie about literally internet ghosts.
Yes. Unfortunately, .com is a Western movie, right?
I don't freaking know, dude.
Because this Ring game was very Japanese.
Ah,
You could tell the voice acting, the dub crew, they sucked ass. It's the one where everyone's American and then this British character just suddenly jumps in going, "What happened?" Do you remember that?
I don't because I didn't watch the whole movie.
No. I'm talking about the video game. I'm talking
Oh,
about
the
the Ring
video
game.
No. I literally remember no part of the video game.
I don't blame you. All right.
But yeah, I think that's why I like Fatal Frame so much because yes, it's Koei Tecmo, so obviously it's fan service a lot of times. In fact, most times. But I just like how at parts it's actually well done Japanese horror in a video game form.
Yeah, see, all I had to be told was, "Oh, this is a Japanese video game where you play as young women," and I was like, "Oh, well, I'm gone, bye." Like, I'm getting out of there before the FBI FBI open
Yeah.
up.
Thankfully, I found out about Fatal Frame when I was much younger than the actual characters in the game, and B before I knew Japan's relationship with young girls or young people in general, for that matter, because there's also Shotacon.
Oh God, yeah, you're right. I remember that. Yes, I do remember reading about and watching a little clip from an interview where there's like a Japanese pop star chick who also was like really creepy about that. Oh, what is wrong with Japan?
Years of Isolation,
I think it's more than that.
Years of America.
Yeah, that's probably part of it too, but I think there's more than that.
Yeah, probably.
It's a vat of things. And Pink, if you said anything in like the last 10 minutes, we haven't heard you. But
I've been just dumbfounded these last few minutes, so yeah.
quick,
It's all
Eddie,
good.
talk about end the curse by talking about Friday the 13th gameplay.
It exists.
Yeah.
So Friday the 13th. Throwing like the UI is at the same time pretty descriptive and not descriptive enough.
Yeah.
Because like it shows you the controls, it tells you what the freaking move is, but at the same time, I'm like, what am I doing? Might just be me, to be frank. I might just be stupid here. Like by the end of the game, I actually figured out what Jason's abilities were. So I got used to it, but still.
It seemed overall very strange to me. It seemed like Dead by Daylight, but way less competitive.
Yes, and also, well, it's just this Jason, but it's just not Jason. But if you get knocked down, you actually have to freaking mash the A button to get up.
All of the Jasons have to do that.
Oh boy.
Some of the Jasons I think are tougher. Roy's probably the weakest on account of just being human.
Yeah, he genuinely has a debuff that is falls down easier,
Huh.
which is fair.
Yeah, but I think to make up for it, he is probably the fastest. He's probably got the best run speed.
Yeah, he's probably the fastest, and he also has 15 teleports
Oh.
because he is anime.
Okay, Pink. To put it in perspective, Pink, have you watched any videos of the Friday the 13th game?
No.
Okay, imagine Dead by Daylight, but not randomly generated maps. It's set in stone. The survivors can pick up weapons, and they can use them to stun the killer. In this case, Jason. But Jason can pretty much any time. He has access to a variety of abilities, including throwing knives that can be used to kill you from a distance. He can teleport in several ways. He can run pretty much as fast as you can. And what's some other things Jason can do? Well, obviously he can fuck up the environment in a lot of ways. He can take out the power and kinds of things.
Set traps.
He can he set traps?
Roy could.
Oh, well, yeah, that might be an exclusive thing. I'm not sure. But yeah, they get access to a variety of abilities. Oh, and also they don't need to throw you on the hooks.
Yeah, you're just dead. Well, once you're dead, you're dead.
And if you're the first person to die, then you don't die. You get replaced by Tommy Jarvis. You get to play as Tommy Jarvis instead. And Tommy Jarvis is slightly stronger than the other survivors and gets a free shotgun.
Ooh.
And he's required for one of the secrets. Which I don't think we'll see in action.
Yeah. Also, I just wanted to say, like, the freaking character models, they very much exist.
Oh, yeah. The characters are hideous, but I'm gonna be honest, the character models looking hideous is part of what's great about the game. Because fucking every round that starts, Chad just, with that big agape mouth, gets
Yeah.
you.
I actually focus more on his eyes than his mouth.
They're both good. They're
Yeah.
both good.
But a thing that I wanted to point out, and I was laughing here in the background while you two were talking about the good place, because I was playing Friday the 13th during the podcast like a professional. And, so in the customization menu, the first female counselor that you unlock has a Wonder Woman costume. So I was laughing about that for a good bit there, because it's just flat out a freaking like shitty cosplay Wonder Woman costume.
Alright. I wonder if it gives you increased attack strength.
I don't know, but you need to be like level 500 to actually unlock it.
That makes sense.
Sadly,
Yeah.
I was just really surprised. Like another thing is she gets 3 costumes. The default guy counselor that you get, I don't know who that is. They get the default costume. That's it. So you know, there's that as well. Moving on to a slightly better game, Gears 5. I played the demo. Or not the demo, the freaking tutorial. Yes, that.
It is a tutorial.
Yes, I still don't like the gameplay.
I don't think the tutorial does a great job of demonstrating the gameplay, mostly because you're shooting targets.
Yeah, true.
Imagine if you were introduced to fighting games, and they're like, alright, fighting games are awesome, here's practice mode. Just sit in the lab here.
I mean,
man,
to be
fighting
fair,
games have the worst fucking tutorials anyways. What am I saying?
Guilty Gear has a good one.
Yeah, that's
Shut
a
up.
solid one.
Okay, let me change that, because Guilty Gear Rever 2's tutorial is actually not as good as Science was. So, Guilty Gear Xrd Side has a good tutorial.
Yeah.
Because with Side, they actually went through everything. Every basic mechanic, from what I could tell. Like, there was a thing about all block, there was a thing about Roman canceling, the different versions of Roman canceling, shit like that. Gone.
Oh yeah, Rev 2 skips
Nothing-
over some big shit.
So yeah, Rev 2's tutorial, while really good by fighting game standards, is still inferior to Science.
Alright. But I did want to mention one thing from the Gears 5 tutorial. And that's... You know what? No, I don't want to mention that. That's not really a good point of discussion. Anyways, Addy, did you have anything in particular to point out about it, or are you just not a big fan of it?
Well, for one, a while ago I suggested when they asked you to look up to press the stick sideways and see what happens. So I did that because I was really curious if I would have to play the game sideways. No, they didn't think that people would be that stupid.
You just do nothing?
If you press it sideways, the camera moves sideways. So yeah, there's that.
I really
And
wish
then-
you just get a notification that says Gears of War 5 uninstalled.
It boots up Fallout 76, which in turn bricks your Xbox.
It doesn't brick it, but now every time you turn on the Xbox, Todd Howard's face has like a watermark in the top right.
Yeah,
It's just staring at you
menacingly.
with that stupid fucking smirk of his.
And under his face it says, "Buy Skyrim."
By Skyrim, now on your refrigerator.
Yeah. I wonder when I will be able to play Skyrim on my TI 8500. I don't actually know any real TI numbers.
Well, I've got a TI 30X that I'm looking at right now, so I can tell you TI 300 is a ways off right now. You might have to wait a few millennia for that one.
Uh, so yeah, another thing that I wanted to ask really about the game. So did we get the Ultimate Edition of the game?
Yes.
Okay, I was wondering because I was not sure why the hell I got the Halo Reach characters.
Yeah. It's a little weird, isn't it? Halo Reach characters and Sarah Connor. And if we
I
ever
didn't
play
I didn't
as the
find
fucking...
Sarah Connor.
You didn't get Sarah Connor?
I didn't find Sarah Connor if I did get her.
She's right next to the Halo characters. She may have been
No,
pre-order exclusive.
no, that I did not get Sarah Connor.
Oh,
Yeah,
then
I'm pretty sure you had to pre-order or download via Game Pass within the first 2 weeks.
Okay, because I did that, and I have Sarah Connor in the T800. That's different, because Sarah Connor has a unique set of abilities in Horde mode that I guess now I'm the only one who can do.
Oh well, I don't give a shit. I get to be the freaking offensive Halo Reach character, I guess.
Yeah.
You know who I didn't get, but is instead of Sarah Connor,
Who?
Batista.
Yeah! Even though he's not a character, he's just a skin for Marcus, but woo!
Yeah, he's a character in my heart.
To be fair, Marcus seems like he's got cool skills anyways, so...
I don't know because they described him as a tank, and I'm not a tank guy.
Right, but his ultimate is the Soldier 76. His ultimate is Soldier 76's ult.
I'm not a tank guy, says the guy who made Hunter Sylvanas, but you know.
Hunter Sylvanas. There's an active word there.
Well, yeah, but I still built him like a tank. I just play him like a hunter. Anyway, I think that's all I did.
All right.
It was only this list of 500.
Yeah. All right. I played Civ 6. I don't think I did much that's worth talking about, except maybe... Did I play as someone new? I don't think so. I also put some time into Total War Warhammer 2 after having gone quite a while without playing it. And I think I kind of got into a static position with that game, and I think I've made it much more enjoyable by moving the difficulty up. Partway because I had just gotten into a routine with playing the campaigns, but also because that game's got a fun thing it does with its AI. Did you know playing that game on hard is way easier than playing it on easy?
Why is that?
It's way easier to play on hard than easy because the AI on easy, it has its aggression level set to like 0. So what it does is it takes all of its armies and it just camps them out in the fucking cities behind the walls. Which means that it will take you forever to siege out every single army from every single city. And you probably will not be able to build up a big enough army to even do it in the first place in your first 20 or 30 turns. So you pretty much don't get anything rolling until you build up a significant amount of money. But on the harder difficulties, the AI has an actual aggression rating and will actually try to leave its cities to pick fights with you, which means you can actually kill them.
On hard difficulty, the AI has an aggression rating of 236. They drop nukes.
Yes. Good old underflow, huh? But I did not get too terribly far with it, because that game's got long fucking loading times. But I found out, I've known for a while that using an SSD drive makes the game run a lot faster. What I did not know is that you can purchase external SSDs.
You didn't know that?
I know it's obvious now, but you have to understand that I'm an idiot. So the possibility never quite reached my mind. Even though I'm aware of the existence of external hard drives, I just figured there was something about SSDs that didn't allow them to be external.
I don't know why. When we talked about SSDs of recording, I was referring to the external ones.
Oh!
Yeah,
Oh!
that makes more sense now, doesn't it?
Yeah! Alright, yeah, that does make more sense. But yes, I will be looking into getting an external SSD to run that a lot faster, as well as probably Civ 6, to cut down on load times for that. Which should make multiplayer fun, because I'll load into the game like 10 minutes before anyone else does.
Man, I wish I had money.
Oh man, the trouble is you can have money or you can have things right. You can have money or you can have things right now. So, and it's a hard choice a lot of the time. And other than that, oh, did I try and play anything? Oh, I installed Red Dead 2 because I was like, you know what, I should go back and finish that game. Just because the multiplayer sucked ass doesn't mean I shouldn't finish the game. Kicked on single player, and my god, you could hear my PS4 from the other side of the fucking house. It sounded like a fucking jet was taking off from the runway that is my bedroom.
Yeah, I heard people complaining that PS Pros, with Red Dead 2 and other recent games, have been making sounds like they are freaking Death Claws.
I've got a regular PS4. I don't have a PS Pro. You kidding me?
Yeah, even a PS Pro makes jet sounds apparently.
Jesus Christ. So yeah, I immediately shut that shit down. Fuck that. I guess I'll have to wait until the PS5 comes out to finish that.
You'll have to wait until the PS15.
Yeah, the old Hauser brothers couldn't keep their graphics stick in their pants. Oh, man. And other than that, don't think I watched any TV shows. Don't think I played any particular video games. I think. Was there some PC game that I played other than that? Nope, nothing comes to mind. Yeah, I think that's about it. Alright. I think we can call that an episode. Alright. Addie,
Bye.
say bye. Oh, yep. Alright. We will. Pink, say bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Later, folks.